Boulevard in Shelby, at TLC Sales on Highway 18 North in Bellwood, at Car Pro on Highway 180 South of Shelby, at Victoria Cole Gifts and Collectibles on Main Street in downtown Cherryville, at Arnold's Jewelry South Washington Street in Shelby, at Cherryville Animal Boarding and Grooming on Highway 150 West in Cherryville, and at Medical Center Pharmacy on East Academy Street in Cherryville. The drawing will be held Friday, December 22nd. Register today, and you could be the winner of our $1,000 Christmas shopping spree.
Looking for a van to haul the family to Grandma's house for the holidays? Then listen up. This radio ad is worth $500. That's right, $500 off a 2006 Honda Odyssey EXL van with DVD player at Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop. It's priced at $54.95, but mention this radio ad and it's yours for $49.95. And here's something special from Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop. How about a tire or service gift card? It makes a great gift for those hard to buy for. See Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain, online at oakgroveauto.com.
Cleaning rods, busted pistons too. Burn up parts, bad up plugs, we have parts for you. Come on down to Rick's Automotive and give your car a treat. Before we shoot dropping down in the middle of the street.
Merry Christmas from Rick's Automotive, serving Cherryville for over 41 years.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with my co-host, John Party. We're going to talk about Christmas traditions with his mom.
The tradition was with him, he'd get his guitar out and sing a lot of songs. It was a lot of fun.
Yep, we're going to have to do this next year.
That's John Party on Country Countdown USA.
Wednesday at 1 p.m. on WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and KTCBroadcasting.com.
For a limited time, you can buy a brand new camper at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain for up to 50% off. Come in for all the details, plus up to $7,500 in incentives. Your payments as low as $150 a month for a brand new camper. Now, wouldn't that be a great gift for the entire family? Check it out today. 50% savings, $7,500 in incentives, payments as low as $150 a month. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Online at campersinn.com.
The Lincoln Country Club has been challenging golfers since 1946 with tree-lined fairways, ponds, creeks, and sand bunkers. Select from 4 sets of tees to play from. Give them a call at 704-735-1382. Again, 704-735-1382. The Lincoln Country Club, 2052 Country Club Road in Lincoln. Visit their website at golflcc.com.
And good morning, and welcome to another Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin, Zach, Tom, and Terry. We're a week away from Christmas. Hope everybody's done with their shopping. If they're not, well, good luck for this coming week. But my camera's a little lower today, so that was kind of weird. See myself almost below my eye level when usually it's above me. I'm looking at eye level.
Can you not adjust?
Well, it's right here. I don't know where to put it where it would be like that. So, I mean,
You can put it wherever you want.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, that's JP for the folks listening on the radio. For the folks watching online, you already know and saw him, so you got all the JP you could take right there. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Brought to you by McDonald's of Cherryville Breakfast. I just finished my sausage biscuit. JP, what did you eat in there this morning for breakfast? What have you ordered this morning for breakfast?
I have a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with a round egg and strawberry cream pie.
Zachary, what did you have this morning?
Sausage biscuit with a strawberry cream pie.
Terry, you're still eating on his. I'll get you in a minute. Tom, what'd you have this morning?
I had a bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin and a strawberry cream pie.
Terry, you ready?
I got a sausage McMuffin with egg and 2 hash browns.
Terry enjoys his meals. He's always last to finish. It seems like.
You got to enjoy. You don't swallow
You're
it.
the only person from Vail I've ever met that. No, I know some plate cleaners from Vail that I went to school with.
Hey, you didn't clean your plate. You got whooping. That's right.
And then they go back and get more.
Yeah, there wasn't no. I've never seen somebody from Vail eat slow, to tell you the truth. Well, happy Saturday, everybody. We got a good show for you today. We've got NFL, NCAA basketball, NCAA football, NBA, a little Major League Baseball news, a little golf news, a little bit of everything. I've got all kinds of things that for us to really get into today. We're going to have some fun today as long as the grumpy old men over here don't start complaining too much about any of my fun. You know how they get sometimes, don't they, Zach?
I know, Tom.
But
I don't even want to talk about what Kevin does over there. I mean, he gets all mad and he storms out. He just has it's like his storming out to he's got it all scripted. Like
Well, as long as he don't mute you, you all right.
So we got. So the Athletic Association has announced they're going to 8 divisions, and I took the liberty of going through and looking at the last ADM numbers that they made the divisions for. I don't have a cool graphic for the folks on the online. We'll have that for you next time we talk about it. But I did want to mention that this morning, and so I don't know if they're going to do like we were told. You know, I don't know if they're going to do like a really small percentage of the 1A and 8, Terry, or if everybody's going to be equal. So this is if there's only, basically there's 50, I think, teams in each A roughly is what I ended up with, or 40, and so the 1As, our local teams would be Thomas Jefferson. And then Cherryville was right on the line, whether if they go if it's even or if they go a really small 1A and 8A. You understand what I'm saying with those? So Cherryville's right on the line. If they go even across the board, they may drop down into the 1As. So this one is based on if it's like a smaller percentage, basically 30 teams in the 1A as opposed to 50. But the rest of them are 50 across the board. So Highland Tech is close to the line, but I think they'll stay. They might just stay in the 2. Bessemer City should be good in the 2A. So you folks in Bessemer City, you're going to be in the 2A. And you got teams like Polk County, Highland Tech, Mountain Island Charter. The scary one there, Terry, is Community School of Davidson. They're on the bottom of the 2As. So they're going to, they made 3rd round this year, didn't they?
Yeah.
So for the 2A folks, you're going to have to deal with them and Thomasville. I don't know, and Thomasville's either east or west, and then. But that Davidson team on that 2A, if they go bottom 1A, they're gonna be pretty good in that bottom 1A, and they might be pretty good in the bottom 2A. But I'm just looking at that, just the 1A in general, that they might run through that. Our local, so people say, well, where's the 3A? Where's our other local schools? Well, Tom and guys, Terry, you guys would be a 3A school, according to this. Right smack dab in the middle of it with the Shelby Golden Line. So at the top of the 3A really these teams aren't on the edge, but they kind of are. But East Gaston, RS Central, Maiden, Bunker Hill, Shelby, West Lincoln, Bandy's, Newton Conover, Lincoln, and Brevard, East Rutherford, Reedsville. For you folks wondering what competition you would have in the state, I stuck them in there. So Reedsville would be a 3A school. So Terry, if you want to win the state, you got to go through Shelby and Reedsville there, boss.
Yeah, they can come on over. We'll play them at home.
Reedsville wouldn't know what to do. They come to Vail and that cannon starts firing. Hendersonville and Chase. Chase, you're looking at being a 3A school. So that means our local schools are pretty much going to be up to 5A. I don't think we're going to have any 6 or 7s or 8s in our local area. So looking at the 4As, Tom, that's where the Burns Bulldogs, it looks like, might fall. In the middle of that, you got about the same number as North and East Lincoln and South Point, which all fall right there in the middle of that. Other teams in the 4A you have to go through in the state playoffs. How about the Monroe Red Hawks? And I put Smoky Mountain Mustangs down in there. And the West Caldwell had a good year this year. But then you got teams like, for some of I know folks listen, Ford, you'd be in the 4A, East Burke 4A. Doesn't mention East Lincoln, Tuscola, Stuart Kramer, and Huss. So that's what you're kind of looking like there. And Tom, would you rather be in that 2A or 3A now looking at those teams?
I don't know. It looks both. Terry took my paper, but that's okay.
Terry, will you share with Tom?
Yeah.
Can you put that in the middle?
He took my paper there. It's okay. He always does that.
I didn't even have it.
I kept looking over there when I had this morning.
Wait. Give me that. Give it
back
to me.
Y'all to share.
You get your paper that's in front of you.
Oh, okay. All right, there's my paper.
Oh, Terry did not take your paper.
Well, you did, because it was sitting right here. You just didn't see that one either.
You've been accused of thievery.
There he is.
He did take
already.
my paper. He did take my paper. Okay.
Well, Tom, looking at those 2s and 3s.
I mean, it's just like when you put us into 4, East Lincoln, they're tough. South Point, they're tough. High Brighton's been kind of up and down here recently. Same with Hunter Huss. But if you look at a 3A, I mean, Bunker Hill's tough. Shelby's tough. West Lincoln's tough. Bandy's will be tough. Newton Conover's a little hit or miss. Maiden's making a comeback.
Maiden's good.
Maiden's good. East Rutherford, I think Philip Russ has that program training. Reedsville, I'm so glad not have to see them anymore. But, and Chase and, Coach Coggle's done good things. You had a lot of good football teams in that 4 and 5 and that 4 and 3. The 5A, though, I would feel, I mean, could you imagine like an Ashbrook trying to play in that 5A?
Yeah, I know, right?
That'd be tough on them.
So, how about you, Crest Charger fans?
Charlotte
I know you're out there.
North Gaston and Forest View trying to play in that 5A.
Charlotte Catholic, Hickory defending state Red Tornadoes. So states will be dropping back into Kings Mountain. You're in there too, and Crest. So the 5As and West Henderson. Don't forget they made the 4th round this year. So you got Crest, West Henderson, Kings Mountain, Charlotte Catholic, Statesville, Hickory, Carson. The Robinson is pretty good. West Rowan's in there. Forest
They've
View,
had
North
won
Gas.
state championships.
So the 5A looks pretty tough, Tom. Y'all sitting there in that 4A might be a good spot for you to.
Yeah, it looks a lot better than I was surprised you put us in the 4. I thought we'd be in the 3.
Yeah, you just got way more students than a lot of schools than you think you do.
Because we were down. Our enrollment was down for a while.
Now remember, this is from like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Whenever they did those conferences that we're in now, so those are the numbers that I'm using.
Okay,
is the last ADM number. So I do know, of course, some of these have had. I'm pretty sure East Lincoln has moved up that list as far as attendance wise. But
how many students does Highland Tech have?
About 500.
More than
500.
Yeah. At this point, they had more than Cherryville.
How about that? I did not know that.
Yeah, when I was looking at the list, I was like, "Well, I got the list down. How I can bring it back down."
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. I just was like, "Darn, Highland Tech," and I thought they was maybe 300 to 400 kids.
No, I think they're at 500. Them and Cherryville's at 500. Bessemer's closer to 6 something, and then once you get that 3As are pretty much 7. I think 7 to 780 or something like that. Or I had in the in the 700s maybe as attendance is what that was in the 3s, and then the 4s it's basically 700, 800, 900, something like that in the area. I'll go get it in a minute, show you during the break. But anyway, just want to give you guys a little food for thought this morning on what we got going on. So any other thoughts on those, Terry, or is that, or if they go no conferences, Terry, you get to pick and choose your opponents anyway. But if you did stay in the 2A and made a conference there, Maiden, Bunker Hill, Shelby, West Lincoln, Burns, Newton Conover, and Lincoln, pretty good conference there.
It is, and to me, with us in Cherryville, that would be fantastic for Cherryville.
Yeah,
they could pick their own teams that they want to play. Would they probably play West Lincoln? Yeah, they probably would on account of attendance. You'd probably never throw that one out there, but it would be great for them not to have a Burns, not to have a Shelby.
Yeah.
For
they could
them
be competitive with
could.
like teams.
Polk County would be a great match.
Oh, yeah.
I just pulled up the ADM. Burns was 9-17, 22-23.
Okay, so you've went up some.
And I'm trying to look at West Lincoln was 753, which kind of surprised me. East Rutherford at 716, Chase at 707. And, so those schools are kind of, sort of all in there a little bit together. But I tell you what, if Burns moved, I don't think they're going to have enough to get into the 5A. Those schools are significantly larger.
Oh, yeah.
So I just don't think there's any worry of them going down into the 3A. I just don't see Shelby's number. There's Shelby at 804.
At 3A conference, this is going to be really, really top heavy. I mean, there's a lot of good teams in there. Talked about that with.
Well, there's a thing that I've always said, and I know that people agree with me, is you have a student population and you have an athletic population. Right. So if your athletic population is a little skewed, why are you playing down? Like Shelby, go play 3A. Seriously. I mean, Reedsville, go play 3A. Give these other teams, like Kevin says, a chance because your athletic population is higher. I mean, when you put all the, for lack of better words, I'm sorry, guys wearing pocket protectors, they count as much as the guys playing 3 sports.
Mm-hmm. We should have regulation, Tom.
Yeah.
Should have regulation. In football. How about football only regulation? The rest of them will do their conference. You win the state championship, you move up.
I mean, it should be.
Or 2 or 3, whatever you want to
make. And then you can get regulated down. I mean, you get your butt beat and drop back down.
If you go 0-10, Ford should be able to ask to go down. Correct?
Should.
So those are our rules. If you go winless, you can move down, and if you win the state, you move up. Those are my special addendums.
Especially if you go, not just if you go winless, if you go winless in your conference. You see what I mean? Like you're a Highland Tech and you haven't won a conference game ever. Then why are you in this conference? It's just stupid. It's not fair to those kids. Give them somewhere they can play with. I mean, I don't understand. Like, are we not in this era of we're worried about people's feelings anyway? What good does it do a kid to go out there and get beat 80-0 every week?
Yep.
I mean, you tell me that. I mean, we're going to turn around. We're going to say we're worried about all these kids' feelings. So go out there and play Shelby and get beat 80-0 and take it like a man. Yeah. That's just stupid. Yeah. I mean, it's just the state of North Carolina athletics never ceases to out-stupid itself. So I just want to see if you can get this right. I mean, can you get this right? Can you get this realignment right? Or are you going to screw it up again like you did our football conference? So I'll just wait.
But if you go by enrollment, I mean, I have a hard time how you justify any of that anyway.
But Terry, why is it the factor? It's not a factor. It's the factor. It is the factor, and it shouldn't be. And everybody in the state of North Carolina knows, Terry, that it shouldn't be.
Step one, without like trying to judge, like you're talking about football population or whatever it is. My solution was the roster because you got to register the roster numbers.
But then I think people might fudge it to cheat.
Well, you still got to be official.
Yeah. You got to turn it in.
Let's say that you don't go that way. But the other one could always, a starting point could be counting boys only. You have so many boys in your school. That's your ADM as opposed to counting girls at all.
That could be tricky in 2023.
Well, whatever. If there's 2 or 3 on the line, we're not crossing the line. But the point is that would, to me, would at least be a step towards that, because some schools will have 60, 70, 80% girl population, but it shows up here on the ADM number. So all right, when we come back, we've got NBA, NFL, NCAA football, basketball, and more on KTCBroadcasting.com.
This holiday season, a new Honda CRF is more than the most reliable machine to hit the trails. Our lineup of family-friendly trail bikes offers the perfect gift for riders of every level, from the CRF 50F to the 110, the 125, and the full-size 250F. You can give the gift of riding to every Red Rider in the family. So head to Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, now during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, and give a gift that'll last a lifetime. Cold weather is on the way. Be ready with a stop in at Today's Pro in Shelby. From gas logs to fireplaces to inserts and more. With name brands like Menneson and Empire. A big inventory to choose from. Add Today's Pro in Shelby to service calls too. Just call 704-600-8393. Again, 704-600-8393. For Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at thetodayspro.com.
Join us for our live Sunday morning worship services on WHS. It's the Sunday morning worship service from Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby, and on WCSL, it's the Sunday morning worship service from First Baptist Church in Cherryville.
Now is the time to get your certificate of deposit with Carolina Federal Credit Union in Cherryville. And right now, you'll find certificate of deposit rates up to 5.25% APY. APY is the annual percentage yield. Minimums apply. NCUA insured. For more information, go to carolinafcu.org. Again, carolinafcu.org. Carolina Federal Credit Union, located at 1200 East Church Street in Cherryville. Call 704-435-0186. IDS Mechanical in Shelby is your full-service auto repair facility, specializing in lockouts, key replacements, calibrations, brake replacement, tire and oil changes, realignments, electrical repairs, and North Carolina state inspections. IDS Mechanical wants to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. They're located at 1863 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Online at idsautomotive.com. Make it a no malarkey Christmas. That's right, a no malarkey Christmas from Mr. Sparky. Mr. Sparky wishes you a Christmas filled with good times. May Santa bring you the presents you desire, because Santa said you've been very good this year, and that's no malarkey. Merry Christmas to you and your family from everyone at Mr. Sparky and Wise Electric Control, 1242 Shelby Highway in Cherryville. Online at MrSparkyCharlotte.com.
You don't have to put it with any malarkey. Call 888 Sparky. And welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. I'm sorry. I'm so used to hearing it on the radio and not being in the commercial. It's kind of hard not to say it.
You sounded like a neutered Chucky doll.
Why do I even come Saturday mornings? I mean,
because we pay you, JP.
That's the only reason I'm here. And to be honest, I got the food delivery award Thursday night. So hey, I bring y'all the food. That's what
He won an award just for that.
I know. Hey,
and we appreciate that, JP.
I didn't win the karaoke award, I can tell you that.
I would stick to Smokey Robinson or Aaron Neville.
All right.
He can nail Aaron Neville, Tom.
Yeah, before you move on, just a couple other numbers if you're listening out there. Lincoln coming in at 797, a little bit above West Lincoln at 753. East Rutherford 716, Chase 707. Burns was at 9. Yeah, Burns was near the top, 917. Newton Conover 943, Monroe 1016. East Gaston 874, Maiden 867. So just food for thought of where your team might end up.
What did you say East Gaston was now?
East Gaston was 874.
What about North Gaston for you?
North Gaston, see, I don't know if they made – this was all the ADM of the playoffs.
Oh, what about Crest?
So Crest.
Or West Row.
Okay. So the 3A West, Ashbrook, first team. How is West Charlotte West 3A 1,700 students? That's crazy.
Gracious.
Let's see here. Ashbrook 1270, St. Stephen's 1245, Kings Mountain 1222, Hickory 1193, Crest 1101, Hunter Huss 1091.
Okay.
North Lincoln 1076.
So on my list, I had Huss at the top of the 4A at 10. And you got, at the top of it, you got them at 1091. You guys are at 9. So you guys are close to the line.
Close.
We'll see how that pans out.
Close.
Depending on how the state.
East Lincoln 1042.
How cute does her fuzzy math?
I'm just surprised that Burns and East Lincoln would be that close in enrollment. I wouldn't think they would be with that lake community over there. And then
it's growing.
Yeah.
I guarantee next time it's way above that.
Yeah. South Point 943, Fred T. Ford 934. That's basically all the teams of interest around here, Kevin. But just my source on that is the high school OT. So if you're interested in that, that is my source. I like to give credit to them. So the high school OT, just Google ADM and it'll come up. And if you're interested, you can find a little bit more information on that.
All right, Tom, my question for you is why I cannot go 1 week in my life without Draymond Green assaulting someone.
He didn't.
So pretty much a
because he can't go 1 week in
Right,
his
it's
life without
disgusting.
assaulting someone.
So what am I doing? We
He
can't
did
get away.
not.
We have this conversation every week. It's
Why'd
just-
the guy grab him?
He didn't grab him.
Terry.
The guy grabbed him from
Terry.
back.
Terry.
Are you really doing
I'm going to
this?
defend myself. Somebody grabs me from the back, and I don't know who it is.
Terry, he's a despicable, deplorable human being. And the whole league knows it. His coach
I mean, my
knows
whole
it.
deal is simple.
Everybody knows this man is deplorable. He's a terrible human being.
Don't grab me
Just
from the
saying.
back. You're asking for something
Terry.
if you grab me from the back.
Terry, you're a good Christian man. Do not defend this man. Do not defend this man, Terry. Cannot do that.
I mean, come on.
Don't go to church on Sunday after you defend Draymond Green. Just stay home. Listen to the service on the radio. Don't show your face.
Does he need help? Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Then what are you meant to then, Terry?
I'm just
What does he
saying.
need help for?
I think it's just now anything that Draymond does is wrong,
You're right.
no matter what.
That was a closed fist.
So the guy shouldn't be at all. He should have ducked.
With the money these guys are making, they're not going to let some clown like Draymond Green just take a free swing at them. These guys are too valuable, and you just can't have something more on over there. Might break somebody's jaw. Now they're out 8 weeks. We can't have.
He did
that.
not break the guy's jaw.
But I'm just going to tell you, he could have. I mean, he's a big guy, 6'9". I'm not going to take that from him. He's just a despicable human being.
Did they take him in the tent for the concussion protocol?
They should have. The guy went down like a log.
Hey.
Boom.
So,
So you're cheering that. Oh, he went down like a boom, even though it was an accident, right? So he went. So you're bragging that he went down. See how the
A guy
admission comes out.
grabs-
The admission comes out without the admission coming out. If you analyze what he says, boom, the guy went down, but it was an accident. He was
the VAR.
I don't know what he was doing.
It reminds me of the baseball altercation when the guy all of a sudden got punched out. You know, that we saw this past summer. This was the same thing. Don't grab a guy from the back. You don't know. And this guy, they know who Draymond is. They know what he's going to do.
So you're
So quit agging it on. This guy had no reason to even touch him.
This is the craziest conversation I've ever had.
Show it. That's all you have to do.
Please,
I will
please.
say
Why does the guy grab him from the back?
You talking
Why
about
does he-
Draymond
why-
did
why is he playing
nothing.
defense?
Why does this deplorable human being still in the NBA?
You talking about why he was playing defense?
I just don't
Is that what
understand.
you're asking, Terry?
Why is he still in the NBA?
When the play happened, the guy grabbed him from the back.
So he's been
Again,
he's been indefinitely
why
suspended,
do
correct?
you grab Draymond Green from the back if you're not
playing
wanting
defense.
something to
I
happen?
think it's
You
going
don't
to
want
be.
you to be smacked by playing defense, Terry. You never put his hand on anybody's
Draymond's
back.
running, going away from him.
9,000 hours of Bird and McHale and people putting somebody on somebody's
Draymond's
back.
going away from him.
Terry, you've got to stop drinking.
I'm not. And I'm just saying now, no matter what Draymond does, Draymond can't touch nobody now. Because whatever he does, we're going to suspend you
That
again.
is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Draymond can't touch nobody. Draymond can't touch nobody now. Draymond should not be in the league.
The guy swung, turned around, swung wildly, hit him in the head. The guy went down like a boom, boom, over. Come on.
Terry, is that what you...
Well, no, keep on going. You got to watch the whole video.
I'm going to say this one day.
Only worse.
One day, if I need a witness for a court anything, you're not going for me.
Oh, look, it goes. I got him on him. I'm grabbing a hold. There you go. Why are you grabbing a hold of his jersey?
Terry.
Look, he's got it.
He's playing defense.
Like, get that way, buddy.
Terry.
Do you know how many jerseys and shorts that I've grabbed in my life? First of all, Draymond didn't even have his jersey in. Maybe he's trying to tuck his shirt in for him. Tuck your shirt in. Look at that.
It's disgusting.
I just think the guy right here shouldn't even be in the NBA, even playing it.
No, he shouldn't. He shouldn't.
No, I'm talking about, the guy that fell. The guy that fell shouldn't even be in the NBA.
Draymond is the guy. You go down the court. You go down to the.
He's playing center for them. He shouldn't even be in the NBA if he can't take no more than that.
You go down. You go down to the park and you see everybody pick teams. You're like, is Draymond playing today? Yeah, I ain't even come down. I'm gonna go to the other park. Cause stupid stuff like that's happening. Because the guys that can't play basketball, this is what they do. If you can't shoot, you can't dribble, you can't play actual basketball, this is what they do.
Yeah, this
I know
guy's
these
a
guys.
holding him,
I know
grabbing
these
a
guys.
hold of his jersey.
Terry, that's defense, and you know it. You teach Terry. How would you teach him to play defense? You wouldn't teach.
You
tell him
don't
to do
grab
that?
his jersey.
Terry, you wouldn't-
Terry, shut up. He's not grabbing his jersey. Just shut up. He's got his hand on his back. He's got his hand on his back.
Oh, come on.
Get out of here.
LeVar
Terry.
Arrington came out this week, and if you remember LeVar from the Redskins,
Yeah.
and he said he watched Draymond play tight end one practice at Michigan State. He said it was awful. He said he's playing basketball for a reason. He said he wouldn't do that in the NFL.
Well, they knock his block off.
That's what he said. He said you would not do that in the NFL.
No. Well, I mean, it's just the commissioner needs to say, okay, you're done for, the rest of this season.
I think it'll be a John Morant type suspension
So
time
for the
wise.
people on the radio, I'm showing Scottie Pippen playing defense on Magic Johnson in the finals. So according to Terry, Magic should slap Scotty about 47 times in this video, right?
No. Now you're totally wrong.
He's got his hand.
Pippen.
I did. He just hand checked him 13 times in 4
He's
seconds.
hand checking. He ain't grabbing a hold of him.
Terry.
There's a difference.
Terry.
Terry.
So he should have slapped him in the face?
Look at Pippen's touching him. He's not holding him.
So Draymond should have just slapped him in the face.
Oh,
That's what you think he should
and
have
this
happened.
is when they did play defense.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
you cannot play like that.
Yeah, no, Draymond don't play no defense. He gives up 30 a game to other power forwards.
Oh, Lordy. Here we go.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, so what is what did Nurkic do that got Scotty's doing right here? Hand check.
Hand
Get me,
check.
get me.
No,
That's exactly
that's
what
all he's
Nurkic just
doing.
did.
He's touching.
That's
Go
what
back
Nurkic
to
just
Nurkic.
did.
He's holding him the whole time.
He's not holding him, Terry.
He's holding
He's
him the
not
whole
holding him,
time.
Terry.
Like, get your hands
Zach,
off
every
of
week,
me.
we can't do nothing.
He's like,
We
get
have
your
to
hands
talk
off
about
of
this
me.
fool.
You should not be holding my jersey.
All right. I mean, it's just this conversation. Is
I know.
pointless.
It's out of hand
So
because
if-
y'all have never been on a basketball court to see this.
No, I've never been on a basketball court, Terry. Could you tell me where one is so I can go, so I can experience this? That's crazy, man. This guy. I swear to you, Calvin.
If you're guarding somebody in the post, your hands are all over them if you're playing defense. And who you don't deserve.
Hand
is-
checking.
You don't
Is it-
deserve for somebody to turn around and slap you across the face.
Kevin, is it not too late to do a stop payment on this man's paycheck?
It is no. It's not.
That's what we need to do.
Take it back.
Mm.
Terry, you better be glad Tom's not in charge.
Your paycheck would just be
Payments here at
revoked,
KTC Property.
Destroyed.
destroyed.
In the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics are in first place right now. 19-5.
Rolling away.
2 games ahead of the Milwaukee Bucks and 76ers.
Neither one of them
3
can
of the
beat us.
Magic, Knicks, Pacers, Heat.
We took Orlando Magic to school last night.
In the playing game, Heat, Nets, Cavs, and Hawks have been in the play-in tournament right now. Toronto, Chicago, and the Hornets are 7-16, third worst record in the West. Now, Detroit's got 2 wins, the same number that Draymond has suspensions this year. So, Tom, which is worse? Which is more? In fact, he's been thrown out of 3 games. So Draymond actually has more ejections than the Detroit Pistons has wins this year. Which one is more
egregious?
Embarrassing.
Embarrassing for the NBA.
I would say the Detroit Pistons with only 2 wins. There's
Is
no
that
way-
not totally embarrassing?
They've been there for a while too. That's it. Ain't
There's
like
no-
this is a.
There's no way.
Did you
That's
see
what you're
that
thinking.
this past week where they was going over their last 45 to 50 games, and they've won 4?
It's bad.
They're
And-
like
and it ain't like-
4 and 46.
It ain't like at one time they wasn't a big, brand.
They were the bad boys.
Yeah,
and
that's
all,
what I'm saying.
Isaiah Thomas and Dennis Rodman.
Out of
and-
50 games in the NBA, you've won 4. What kind of crap is that?
They're not very good.
That's not a professional basketball team. This is pitiful.
Tom, that is Boban
Oh my goodness.
holding
Yeah.
a real deck of Uno
Oh,
cards.
that's ridiculous.
That's the largest man I've ever seen.
Tom saw him in person.
I went up to the
Think
court,
of that.
and the thing is, he's like 7'6", and he's just an absolute clown out there goofing off, just having a good time. I mean, you could tell he's a good guy.
Uno night. You
But,
couldn't
yeah.
play poker with him. Think of where all the cards could hide. just got him between his fingers. You can't even see him.
He's not a human being. I don't know what that thing is, but he's not a human being. He's a space alien of some sort, man. That dude. Just a clown. I remember I threw him, he looked like the ball came to me, and I was bounced it back to him, and he's just kind of laughing, having a good time. I bounced it to him, and I was like, oh God, please don't let me hit that guy. It's like, dude, come over here and kill me.
He bounced one ball off your head.
I'm telling you. Wow. Holy crap.
Well, Tom, how's your Cavaliers looking?
Not good. They got injury problems. Garland's out. They've had so many injuries. They're worse than the Browns. I mean, Garland's out. Mobley's out. They just they can't put a bunch of wins together because they can't stay healthy enough to do it.
Did somebody just break their face? Was that Garland?
Garland's got a broken jaw. Mobley had knee surgery.
Poor Zingas broke his face. Terry just pulls for thugs. Now here's I got one for you guys right here. So, Zach, if you'll hit the computer, this is the difference between Kobe winning the Western Conference Finals and LeBron winning the in-season tournament. And this is James Worthy, our local Gastonia native, on the mic at first. Let's see, Zach, turn it up as loud as you can. I'll do it over here, too.
It's at the top.
Yeah, I got you.
Finals for an amazing 30th time of the inaugural in-season tournament. And it is a privilege to present you with the Western Conference Championship as a former player. Of the inaugural in-season tournament.
Congratulations to the 2009 Western Conference champion, Los Angeles Lakers. Congratulations, guys.
Of the inaugural in-season tournament.
Derek Fisher.
With us, Mitch Kupchak and Coach Mitch. This is a team that had some young guys contribute in position.
Of the inaugural in-season tournament.
Got the best closer in the sport in Kobe Bryant.
Of the inaugural in-season tournament.
But you've had some guys that you didn't know how they were going to react. Guys like Shannon Brown, Trevor Ariza. What did you think of how they reacted in this circumstance?
Of the inaugural in-season tournament.
The man throwing the champagne, if it wasn't for the man not speaking, he would have led 3
what did you take from
USA
those that will
teams
help
to the
you win the
bronze championship.
Of the inaugural in-season tournament.
The gold. Kobe. The only reason
All right,
Americans
Doris.
had the gold.
That's true.
They can see, obviously, that they're happy, but they're not satisfied with just making to the finals.
Terry.
So that's where they had advanced to the finals.
Yes.
They won the Western Conference Finals, and that was how they were.
Yeah.
They weren't happy, weren't excited. It's all business.
And then the LeBron Memorial Trophy. He's going crazy.
The 14th place team in the NBA, Terry, is celebrating with goggles and champagne.
And then they go out and get beat by Wemby in the 18
got
in a row
blown out
loss Spurs last night.
Yeah. I mean, when I looked at that in-season tournament, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why you play one game 1 week, then it's the next week before you play another one.
Predicted that the Lakers were going to win that.
And I know.
And now
and LeBron's playing out his tail.
They're going to put his name on the little trophy.
That's what's happening next is the rumor that they're going to make it the LeBron James in-season tournament.
So Terry,
you're kidding me?
No.
That's great.
His name's gonna be on the chart. Yeah, it's like the Larry O'Brien trophy. It's gonna be the LeBron James trophy, Terry.
Okay, now LeBron, let's go beat somebody 4 out of 7 times. Yeah, okay. All you had to do is beat them once. Now let's go beat somebody 4 out of 7. That's the difference in that tournament compared to the end of the season tournament. You know, it's just not going to happen. That's just like Indiana Pacers would not even be in the championship because they had to go through Boston and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You know, they wouldn't even have been there if you got to beat somebody 4 out of 7 times like you have to.
And they did beat Milwaukee, but I guess it's that one-off game.
But, I mean, don't get me wrong. Give the Lakers credit. That's what they wanted. LeBron gets his championship, and now they're going to call it the LeBron whatever.
The LeBron Invitational.
Yeah, I guess.
In-season tournament.
Good job. Good job. But, I mean, now let's show if you're real. When we get to the end of the season, you know that as much as I do.
They're not. Davis is going to be hurt, and they're not going to be.
I mean, your first game back, and Davis does not play, and you go out there and let Wembanyama just beat you to death. A team that had lost multiple games.
I think it was 18 in a row.
Well, out west, the Timberwolves are number 1, baby. And been telling you.
Nuggets 2, though.
Denver Nuggets are 2. Oklahoma City's 3. Dallas Mavericks 4, Sacramento 4. How about the Houston Rockets are the 6th seed? Remember, they turned down the services of L.A. Clippers' new point guard James Harden. Said they didn't want him back.
They're smart.
Since Harden's went to point guard, I think they went to like 10 and they're 10-3 since he's starting a point guard though. So he's got them turned around at least a little bit. Lakers are in the 8th spot, so that the 8th seed in the West just celebrated with their goggles.
You got number 10 down there with the Suns, and they haven't played a game together, the big three, yet.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a big thing that you won that. I mean, you know, I will give credit for that. It's a big thing that you won it. The first inaugural one ever, and the Lakers win it.
So Golden State sitting down here at 10-14. Are they gonna make the playoffs, Terry?
No, not now. Ain't got no leader.
And they benched. They also benched Wiggins.
Well, they wouldn't. Not now. He's coming back. He'd have to come back and start the lineup, wouldn't he?
I'm not sure they're going to.
Put him Why would they bench Wiggins?
Not performing.
And Klay Thompson's played absolutely horrible.
That's what they was talking about before. Klay had to get back to himself, and he's not playing like the Thompson we're used to seeing.
So,
I mean, he's like 36 years old.
I was about to say, so Thompson to me is a key issue on, because you got to remember, not only could he shoot, he used to be a good defender, and when he tore that Achilles, he's no longer a great defender.
Yeah.
So now you got a no longer great defender out there.
And he's basically
as well.
A spot up shooter.
He's basically a catch and shoot. He's basically almost J.J. Redick out there right now for the most part. He's taller, bigger than Redick, but
he can still be your number 2 man.
Right,
easy.
But you don't want him guarding the. He used to be able to guard
no,
the
he
number
cannot.
one, but he can't go out there and just guard the other guy. Right?
He's got to go from him to the 3rd to the 5th guy.
And Draymond's never been big enough, but like to deal with like Jokic or anybody like that. But like, you know, there's not many of those guys in the league anymore. So, to me, Klay being a key, so they always had to have Wiggins. But Tom and Zach, and I know Terry, you agree with their decisions. They have remember they've chosen Draymond Green over Harrison Barnes, Kevin Durant, now Andrew Wiggins, and they just keep doing this. Now Steph wasn't happy the other day with the team's defense and how they're playing, and they're asking him about where he's at. So Steph let's see, how old is he?
He's about 36 too.
Yeah, but here's your deal. Ask Steph who he needs.
35. He'll be 36.
But he will tell you
in March. So Steph Curry at 36 years old. Tom, I got a proposal for you, because this is right up your alley. You and Jacob, he's the assistant. Ain't that your daughter's boyfriend?
Correct.
You're the head GM of the Golden State Warriors, and Jacob's your assistant. And the Charlotte Hornets call you. Say straight up, LaMelo for Steph Curry. 36-year-old Steph Curry.
No.
Still say no. How old does those three have to be before you make that trade to Charlotte Hornets?
I would make that trade depending on where I am. Like, if I think that would be the piece to get me to the finals or something, I would do it. But at this point, it's just
well, at some point, they got to start over. So my point is, do you ride it and ride it, keep losing,
at some point, you're going to start over, so
or
then
do you trade for a proven commodity, or whatever you think of LaMelo, as opposed to drafting? Because you got to remember also, they passed over LaMelo. They've talked about wishing they didn't maybe, and they drafted Wiseman. So this is a little. He's got a small little tie there. And when do you? The GM that put this team together is gone. When do you, as the new GM and the new guys running it, decide? Well, at some point, do you trade Steph to a contender and make him happy there, or do you trade him home?
That's what would make sense, Kevin. It doesn't make sense. Why would he go to a team that's below average?
Well, put it this way, though.
Chance of
if
going
you put
anywhere.
Steph Curry on the Charlotte Hornets in the East, now where would they be ranked, Terry? And
Not
you've still got
different.
Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward.
You're probably in the middle of the play-in tournament.
There you go. I would say 8th or 9th.
That's fair.
So why would you trade away your best young talent to be in the middle of the play-in?
Who? Because you're not in the play-in with your best young talent.
He's
you got
not
Steph
playing.
Curry.
He's
and
hurt
and we're going to buy Steph Curry jerseys. You've already sold all the Melo jerseys you're going to sell. All those kids already bought them.
What are you talking? That was a Terry comment, man. That's a Terry comment.
I was just saying,
Who's buying their second LaMelo jersey once they grow out of the one they've bought?
He'll change his number. What they do now, they change their number to buy more jerseys.
Tom, true or false? Do you not believe LaMelo and the Balls are going to ask for a trade within the next 3 years anyway?
I mean, it depends on the situation. I mean, I don't. We don't know what's going to happen.
What do you think? You don't think at some point they're
I
pushing?
think it's feasible that they will. I mean,
I
would.
And here's
it's
the
end
problem:
of Curry's career, and they're pushing for it. This is the best and only chance I believe Charlotte has of landing Steph back in Charlotte.
Why would Steph even want to come back?
Why wouldn't he? Because he's the best player on whatever team he's on anyway. Okay, what does Golden State have better that Charlotte does?
Players.
Like who? Name them.
All the players.
Besides, I would say Wiggins. But right now, Clay.
Wiggins, Thompson, Draymond. I could name players.
No, I don't name Draymond.
Oh, heck yeah. He's better than anybody that's in this Charlotte.
If I was one of those teams, second, third, or fourth, I'd say, hey, here's 2 number ones. Give me Steph. That's what I would do. Give me 2 number ones. Give me Steph.
You'd rather have 2 guesses than LaMelo Ball?
No, all I'm saying is
without his injury,
I agree with he's that piece that gets us to the top, but you might not want to trade away any pieces you have in place. You see what I mean? It's like, well, we got a good team where we at. We need one more guy. Here's 2 number 1 draft picks. Here's 3 number 1 draft. You know, number 1 draft picks, Kevin. You don't never know what you're going to get. Here's 3 number 1s. Give me Steph. We're going to go title chasing. We're going to go ring chasing. That's what I think would make sense. Not to the Hornets so he can finish 8th place and kids can get a Steph Curry jersey.
And he'll be out in the first round.
That's just crazy. No way. No, if I'm Steph Curry, I'm like, look, he's got to have an attachment to that town out there. He's been out there 16, 17 years. Like a Michael Jordan to Chicago type thing. I mean,
you can only walk by a pile of poop so many times on the way to your game.
And no other government's coming in for a while to clean it up.
Now remember, you guys said that Terry just said everybody on the Golden State's better than everybody on Charlotte. The number 2 scorer on Golden State is Klay Thompson, 16 points a game.
I'm not even saying.
Hold on, let me finish. On Charlotte, Rozier, 24. Miles Bridges, 20. Gordon Hayward, 15. I think Charlotte's got right now has a better supporting cast than Golden State does.
And they've won 7 games.
But their best player is Steph Curry. Terry.
But they're different. No, their difference is, can these guys that you're wanting to say are scoring all these points
y'all are acting like
are playing no defense?
I'm not saying
they have no clue about
winning the
defense.
championship. I'm saying they're no more worse than Golden State would be. Golden State's got 10 wins. Charlotte has 8. What's the big difference? Curry would be on the exact same team he is now, basically. Except he wouldn't be dealing with Dodo back here fighting his teammates in the other team every time he walks on the court.
But he's the first guy who says who's the key off his team, and he'll put Draymond first.
He just asked that. He wants him out of there, Terry. Do you think he'd rather play with Draymond Green and Kevin Durant?
No way.
Hey, Draymond.
He just had to say that on TV so you don't get punched in the face in the locker room.
Durant's the one that elected to go away.
Right now, Curry has 10 wins with Klay Thompson at 16 points a game. In Charlotte, he could have 2 guys averaging more than 16 points a game with his teammates. I'm just saying, it's not as bad as you think it is.
Think but one guy out of that team that you name would play defense, and that's Rozier. Hayward don't know how to play defense. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Get real.
What are you getting real about? I just said it's equal or the same. And your only thing is no way because Draymond Green's on the team. That's the only thing. Draymond Green, he's just the greatest thing you've ever heard in your life, Terry. It's it just blows my mind.
But I'm just saying, if I'm Steph Curry, I'm not gonna say I'm homesick. I say I want another ring.
That's true too.
I mean, that's what I mean, if I was Steph Curry,
I didn't say if you're Steph Curry. I said if you're the Hornets.
I want another ring.
You're the Hornets and Golden State.
Trade him to Philly, or trade him to who's close in the West. Could you imagine him on Denver's team?
They're not. Why would they trade him to a Western Conference team?
Because they don't care. Because they know they're not going to win either way. What do they care?
But we all know 99.9% of the time, Golden State's not going to get rid of Steph.
No,
Forget it.
No, but Steph may say, "Hey, if you really love me, let me go chase another ring. Then I'll come back and whatever you want me to do later in my career. But let him go get another ring. I mean, I think he deserves an opportunity to do that. So, I don't know if any, I haven't heard anything swirling. I think this might have been just something Kevin pulled out of the air, but I didn't know if there was any kind of.
For years, everybody's doing. I'm saying for years, everybody's been talking about wanting Steph to come home. the only way that you're going to get him is if you give a team like Golden State a young all-star. Looking at, hey, you have a 36-year-old player, and his best players are a guy that averages 9 points a game that fights everybody, a guy that averages 16 points a game that can't guard nobody. So Golden State has no assets. So how do I get assets? Trade a 36-year-old Steph Curry for LaMelo Ball and a first-round pick.
See, but by that logic, I'm Charlotte. Like, why would I trade my asset for a guy who's not going to help me that?
Tom, if you're Charlotte, come on now. We haven't won a playoff series in 25 years. You get Steph Curry.
You're not going to win then.
They're going to make it.
To get beat in the round one?
Explain to me how Steph Curry in the West can win, but he can't in the East.
Not on that Hornets team. I mean, you got Miles Bridges might get locked up at any time.
He's an all-star. Terry Rozier's averaging 24.
I like Rozier. He's probably he's probably my favorite Charlotte Hornet.
He is mine.
Yeah, Rozier. I like Rozier. I remember one time our estranged employee tried to talk to him.
Oh, my goodness.
He walked by, like, you don't realize how big the guys are, but our estranged employee went up and says, "Great game, Terry." And he's like, come on. That's so funny, man. Oh, gosh. But, no, I think he's I think he's my favorite player. Definitely my future son-in-law thinks LaMelo Ball. So I think if you just stick with Bridges, Rozier, Ball, you got to keep your core. And if you could add somebody to that core,
you got to have a center.
Yeah, if you add.
Well, Miller's not played horrible this year.
PJ's not played bad. PJ's not bad.
Mark Williams is actually playing pretty good.
Yeah.
PJ just can't go. Like, you can't. They've got him playing more
He's
outside.
short. He's too small.
He's not a star.
Like, you can't. Like when he tries to guard Embiid or something, he's done. Like,
That's
he
one
can't
of the
guard.
things.
He's 6'8".
Yeah.
Like, he's not a star. He's
Well,
a small
they
forward.
did
play him at
when
power
Borrego
forward
was
center.
there. They did. I remember that Philly game. They isolated Embiid on PJ Washington. He got dunked.
That's
on.
one thing I do like about the NBA that has changed up in the last 5 years is these big men are starting to come around like they used to be, and they got good footwork. They play basketball well with the Jokic's and the Embiids.
Yeah.
And I like that part of the game that's coming back, and we're losing some of the everybody just firing. They still fire shots up at will.
Everybody's trying to be Duke. Everybody's trying to be Duke to shoot threes.
Yeah, so I hope it's kind of coming back around.
All right, while we're talking basketball, before the next break, we're going to shift over to college basketball, where Terry, Caleb Love is the now leader of the number one team in the nation in Arizona, and they play Purdue today, I believe.
Be a pretty
It
good
should
ball
be a
game.
big game in college, big day in college basketball. Carolina's got, I believe, is it Kentucky
yeah,
today.
Kentucky.
Well, I had high hopes for Ohio State until they got beat by Penn State. It won like 2 games.
There's a lot of big games today. State plays Tennessee.
That's not a big game.
That'd be a good game.
That's not a big game. If it involves NC State, it's not a big game, too.
I think State be a little bit better than we think.
I don't even worry y'all can even say that.
Yeah.
All we want to do is say, oh, Carolina's playing Kentucky. Okay, last time State and Carolina played, State won.
Okay.
Okay.
Who do y'all got today?
Well, I'm just
Tennessee.
saying.
Tennessee. Where's State and Tennessee ranked?
Tennessee's ranked.
It's
I
a
said
10
where?
p.m. game,
Yeah,
Terry.
10 o'clock.
You won't see it, Terry. You'll be in sleep.
Well, that's wrong. That's wrong.
You'll
Tom.
be asleep, Terry. Of course, they did. We got some North Carolina State defeated Tennessee Martin. That was a big game, 81-67. Another big game here, Maryland Eastern Shore. Does Maryland have a Western Shore? Well, so why are they Maryland Eastern Shore?
Now listen. Wait a minute.
Maryland Eastern Shore, not Maryland Western Shore. They're all the East Coast.
We
right?
have a
Like, what do you
guy
know?
sitting over here talking, and his team just got beat by Penn State.
You didn't know that till I told you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I did not. But
right.
you are over here putting State down. We ain't got beat by a team that's only won 2 games.
Another big game, the Citadel. That's a big game.
So, speaking of
Abilene Christian.
Tom, I've got one for you. So,
Vanderbilt.
I was doing the broadcast schedules this week, writing these down, and I'm going through North Carolina's this month. Now here is the Tar Heels schedule, last 5 games. You ready for this, Tom?
Yeah.
Villanova,
They
Arkansas,
lost.
Tennessee, Florida State, Connecticut, Kentucky today, and then Oklahoma. All right, you heard those teams
Right.
I named, right? Let's go over the Duke Blue Devils schedule. Wait a minute. I got to look really close to see the.
Can I go over states?
To figure out what
states? The Citadel, Abilene Christian, Charleston Southern, Vanderbilt. They played BYU, got beat, of course. They played Ole Miss, got beat by 20. They did beat Boston College. It's tough to win there. Maryland Eastern Shore, Tennessee Martin, and yeah, that's their schedule.
So here's Duke, Hofstra, UNC Charlotte.
Hey, that's a big game.
Lost to Georgia Tech, lost to Arkansas. Got a theme going. Took care of Southern Indiana, not regular Indiana, Southern. Beat LaSalle, beat Bucknell, did beat Michigan State, lost to Caleb Love again like it's their job, and beat Dartmouth. So Duke's wins this year: Dartmouth, Michigan State, Bucknell, LaSalle, Southern Indiana, Charlotte, and Hofstra.
Right.
That's their.
There's another big game. NC State's got.
Are they still ranked?
They have Detroit Mercy coming up. Terry, that's going to be another big one.
You know who
right?
Duke plays on December 30th?
Who's that?
Queens University. Queens University.
Y'all
Good
need
job,
to
Duke.
step it up a
Good
little
job,
bit,
Duke.
Terry.
You got Queens
Step it up, Terry.
and Dartmouth. Let's see. Everybody's got some easy ones, but I just read the Tar Heels last 6, and it's not easy. We got USC. They got USC Riverside, Lehigh, How High, Radford, and Charleston Southern are the cupcakes on the Tar Heels schedule. So they got 5 on there. But Duke's already won 7 cupcakes. 8
Maryland Eastern Shore. That's all I have to say. At least we played Texas A&M. We played Alabama.
Tom says we talk about Ohio State for you folks that do not know.
We're gonna play UCLA.
Got 2 tough back.
We're gonna play. We're gonna play West Virginia. At least we play somebody. Terry, go out and play somebody. Play somebody, please.
Scheduled today.
He doesn't even have anything to say.
Well, he's over still eating his Fritos.
I think he's on his 3rd bag of Fritos.
Texas, LSU, Kansas, Indiana, Baylor, Michigan State. James and Madison's ranked. They go to Hampton. Clemson, Memphis. Number 1, Arizona. At number 3, Purdue. Number 9, North Carolina. At number 14, Kentucky. Here on KTCBroadcasting.com today. $29 at Kentucky. Carolina's
How's
favorite.
that game only $29 to get in?
Where is
the
it?
Queens Duke game was $200.
It's actually at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's why.
What is that? What is State Farm Arena? Chip? Is that the basketball? That's not the Dome. That's Mercedes-Benz. I guess it is the Hawks.
How much money does State Farm have?
I don't know. Too much, I guess. They need to lower your premiums if they're sponsoring the Georgia Dome, don't you? Alabama's at Creighton. Creighton's ranked 8th. Alabama's not ranked at all. NC State's at Tennessee. Tom, he told us this big game at 10 o'clock tonight, and nobody's ranked on it. Why ain't y'all ranked, Terry?
Because they're terrible. That's why they're not ranked. They're terrible. This is a rhetorical exercise. They're terrible.
All right, see if I got any other news and notes. I think I might have had one more on college basketball before I get out here. Then we'll come back. We're going to talk college football.
Carolina beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
If State beats Tennessee, okay. So then what we gonna say?
About what?
About NC State basketball, about how they're a marquee program.
I guarantee Tennessee don't score 92 on us.
Terry, your football coach said y'all ain't a basketball school.
No, he didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
No.
He said we are not a basketball school. What did he say then? All right, this note right here, guys. 100% of college basketball national champions since 2004, so 19 years, were ranked in the top 12 of the Week 6 AP poll. So these are your title contenders for this year's national champions. Arizona, Tennessee, Baylor, Oklahoma, Kansas, UConn. Is that Butler or Gonzaga?
Gonzaga.
Carolina, Houston, Creighton, Purdue, and Marquette. Tom, you got a favorite 2 out of there?
favorite too this year.
Yeah.
I need to pay more attention to it.
Arizona team's good.
I'd say that Purdue team's pretty good. The Arizona team is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Purdue's got
Arizona,
one player.
Kansas is pretty good too. I agree. I don't know. I guess I'll just be a homer and go with Purdue because there's the Big Ten team. But Kansas and like I said, you make a good point with Arizona. You used to not hear much about Arizona out here till Love went out there. Now you hear about him a good bit because he's doing so
They
well.
got about 4 players that are pretty equal. Top, they all score about 15, 16 a game. That matters.
You can't say enough about somebody who's got Final Four experience and not afraid to shoot the ball.
If you got a pick out of this, you go with Arizona and you go with UConn.
Okay.
I'm definitely Arizona.
Caleb Love's on a mission.
Definitely Arizona. I'm not a Purdue guy. I'm with Terry. They only got that one big guy.
Gonzaga. Didn't they get beat last night?
They got beat last night.
That's what I thought.
I don't trust Gonzaga.
None of y'all picked Creighton. I just can't with you people nowadays.
McDermott's still not there.
I'm just glad Duke wasn't in that graphic.
All right. Before we go to break, I gotta mute it. I can't play it. But before we go to break, we're going to got a little highlight here for you guys. This is titled "The Best Road Rage of All Time." Now, Tom, you're a play-by-play announcer. You think you can handle this, or you want Chip to do it? I know you're Debbie
Chip's been
Downer.
over
You're
there.
Debbie Downer over here. Chip,
No,
come on. You'll
come
have
on,
fun
Chip.
with this.
Come on, Chip.
Chip will have fun.
Let's get Chip involved.
We don't want to get the grouching over here. Come on over here to me, Chip. All right. Come on over here. I'll let you do it. All right, Chip. I want you to do the play-by-play of the scene that unfolds before your eyes, okay?
You come down the road, taking a look. Got a vehicle coming on the left side. Oh, they're getting side by side. This is like it could be hairy. Vehicle's going by. Oh, he's trying to cut. Nope, he's not giving him room. Oh, we got one sneaking on the right side. Now we're standing and waiting, and we're no. It looks like we have a disagreement. The passenger or the driver gets out, starting to have a disagreement with the. Now we're now we're pontificating. Oh, well, wait! Oh, the mascots have come out. The mascots have come out. They're ganging up on.
Mickey Mouse is leading up the back.
It's like a Times Square photo that's gone wrong. Oh no! Merry Christmas! Oh, you got to put your helmet back on.
Draymond's hat fell off.
Let's go back.
So that was real?
Yes.
Wow.
So out from around the corner comes a chipmunk, SpongeBob,
Mickey Mouse,
and a rat. And
Must
the
be
exact
Chucky.
that's Draymond Green. And listen to the guys. Listen to the guys that were filming it because they're laughing their butts off. That's not us laughing, y'all. That's the guys filming it.
I guess they're suspended indefinitely.
So they just went out and beat the crap out.
We'll be back with KTCBroadcasting.com.
He is also an Eagle Scout and is a member of the First United Methodist Church in Stanley. Andrew is a member of the Beta Club and after graduation plans to major in engineering at NC State. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship.
Personnel Services Unlimited wishes you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. For over 40 years, Personnel Services Unlimited has been passionate about connecting people with possibilities. When you partner with Personnel Services Unlimited, you're working with a team of staffing professionals dedicated to finding you the right job and finding the best employees for their clients. Learn how they can help you by visiting psuhasjobs.com. You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Get more bang for your buck this fall with Buck Days at James River Equipment. Buy any new John Deere 1 through 4 Series tractor with a loader, and you'll receive your choice of a rear blade or a set of pallet forks for only $1. So whether you're leveling your driveway or doing some heavy lifting, James River can help you save big bucks. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/buckdays to learn more. Offer ends 11/30/23. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. James River delivers.
The Cherryville Golf and Country Club has new renovations and will be expansion on golf. Having a wedding reception? Cherryville Golf and Country Club banquet room is the place for it. Private parties, birthday parties, and corporate events. Cherryville Golf and Country Club, 200 Club Drive, Cherryville. Call 704-435-6597.
Fall is the perfect time to play golf at Crowder's Mountain Golf Course at the foot of beautiful Crowder's Mountain. Play and ride 18 Monday through Friday for $30 and just $27 after 1 p.m. Play and ride on weekends and holidays for $40 and just $35 after 1 p.m. Ladies' Day is Monday. Ladies play and ride on Mondays for only $20, and seniors play and ride Monday through Friday for $27. At the Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, 255 Lincoln Academy Road in Kings Mountain. For your tee time, call 704-739-7681.
And welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. We just saw some mascots beat up someone, and now we're watching men with capes.
Terry, do you not understand how college sports work? When Alabama beats you, it means something. When Carolina beats you, it doesn't mean something.
I'm still trying
And
to
state.
figure this
This is
out.
college sports. That's how it works. Welcome back to our sports talk. This is real football right here. It's so cold up in South Dakota that Terry, now they, instead of having benches, they just have a whole
go get
room.
warm.
They have a whole room.
I don't blame
It's
South Dakota State.
Looks like it's basically a trailer.
Do you not think
sitting
that
on the
helped
side
them?
of the field that they go into and get warm?
Do you not think that helped
I
them?
know it helps them. I mean, I'm sure it does.
Positively,
But
it
this-
helps them.
Would you
This
not
is
have to- you'd have to provide that for the other team.
But this
Yeah,
is
but do you know what
I
this
don't know if you do
was?
or not.
I would say
They can bring their own trailer crate.
this is a semifinals game.
Right.
The San Diego State won 59-0.
Yeah, and they needed it because they got to go into the
A semifinal
Not
game.
San Diego State.
Yeah, it's South Dakota State.
South Dakota. Yeah, South Dakota State.
If it was San Diego, they wouldn't need the warming
Yeah.
trailer. Okay,
But yeah,
Terry.
South Dakota State. But they won 59-0.
I'd have been kneeling down on the ball in the third quarter. Like, let's go. Let's get out of here.
Well, speaking of kneeling down on the ball and conspiracies and our sports fixed, did y'all see this?
Yep.
Is sports fixed, Tom?
My brother texted me immediately about the over-under.
Yeah.
He goes, "You watch Into the Army game." The funny thing is I went on my weekly date night to bargain hunt, and we had the game up because I got my little mobile tablet that I take with me, so I had the tablet up, and I watched the play, and it's like, oh, the play where he thought he got in. Remember, he thought he got in. They reviewed it and said no, he didn't get in, and then the next play, and as soon as Tom, did you see that? I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. Do you know what the over was? I was like, oh, God, here we go again. But, yeah, it makes you wonder. It's a little head scratching.
At 27.5 is the over-under. The game's sitting on 26, and the quarterback, with 2 seconds left in the game, they run out of the back of he just walks out of the back of the end zone and gives up the safety and the win.
I did not understand the reason
and the gamblers take the 2 point, and the gamblers take the
Look,
win.
there's 3 seconds. If you hike it and he just throws it out of bounds over to the side of a receiver, it's over anyway.
Correct.
But that would be, he'd have to have a receiver in the area because
All you had to do is put somebody over
That's what
there.
Terry's saying. Just put someone over, take one step, and throw it to your coach. and game's
Yeah,
over.
you don't even have-
or just hand it off up the middle.
Or
You got a
maybe
chance
this
to
guy can't throw over.
Well, the
that far.
ball's on the half-yard line. They could have just done a quarterback sneak. Well, there's only 3 or 4 seconds left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Was it fourth down? No, it's first down.
First down.
Do you know the?
Oh yeah, this is fixed. It's first down. Now all they do is quarterback sneak it.
They there was also a question of whether they still had to give the free kick, and the answer is no. If the time expires, you don't have to give the free kick.
You would think they would have to do it.
Correct.
Football does a lot of free plays and stuff like that.
You're in the shotgun. Take one step,
interesting.
fire it out of bounds. That's all you have to do.
Because I would have known that.
3
rule was-
seconds
as,
is over.
As the coach, you got to know that rule.
Correct. Yes, you do.
But I didn't know. I didn't know, and the announcers didn't know, because how often do you see it? You know, I don't blame him for not knowing, because I didn't know.
All right, let's guess. We'll see it. We'll give Chip the first guess. He might be able to see it earlier. All right. I'll do it this way because I know y'all cheat. Most wins in the college football playoff era. What schools have the most wins in the college football era? Before you go, 3, 6, 12. I have 15 teams here. Let's see how many you guys can guess. We'll take a few rounds of the go rounds. Chip, give me a guess. I need a piece of paper. There it is. That get your trash off my notebook. Chip. Alabama. Yes. So they were number 1.
Oh yeah.
All right, Tom.
Ohio State.
Number 3. Terry.
Clemson.
Number 2. Zachary.
I can see it.
Well, quit looking at it.
I can't help it.
He just looks. Chip. Georgia. They're number 4. You guys nailed 4 in the top 4. Now it starts to get a little bit hazy and a little bit fun. Tommy?
Interesting.
I would say Oregon.
They are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is the Oregon Ducks. Terry? We still need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Most wins in the
Terry,
college
just say a
football
team.
era.
Oklahoma.
Yes, they're number 5. Nailed it. Chip. They are number 6, 7, 8, 9.
I'm saying nobody gets 6.
Number 9.
Nobody's gonna pick 6.
6 or 8, probably. I'm gonna let Chip. Go ahead, your turn. Yes, they are 7. Y'all doing a pretty good job. I'm gonna give you the rest of them. And then I'm gonna give you two special ones. Oklahoma State is number 15. Well, 13 with Penn State, Iowa, and Oklahoma State with 88 wins. At number 12 and 11 is Oregon and LSU with 89 wins. Number 10 is Wisconsin, 9 Michigan. Number 8, most wins in college football. The Appalachian State Mountaineers.
I would have guessed Boise State.
Look at number 6, the Boise State Broncos. So, folks, your top 10 most wins in the college football playoff era: Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, Oklahoma. Boise State at 6, Notre Dame at 7, Appalachian at 8, Michigan number 9. Hey, we would be tied at 93-93 if it wasn't for one day about 15 years ago.
And all 3 of those teams are 94 wins, so they're all
20
6.
years ago. Yep. So that was a fun one for that. So Boise State, 6 most wins. All right. So Big 12, ACC, Pac-2 merger. Terry, you ready for that talk? We ready to see what it might look like? If those teams were to merger in a 30-team, 3 divisions, these are our teams. The American, whatever we're going to call this, American Coast Conference, America's Coast. Washington State, Oregon State, California, Stanford, Arizona, Utah, BYU, Arizona State, and Colorado in one division. Then Texas, you got 5 schools in Texas, Oklahoma State, Kansas, 2 teams in there, Iowa State.
Awful.
Then the ACC East Coast, with Boston College, Syracuse, Pitt, Cincinnati, Louisville, West Virginia, and UCF, Georgia Tech, NC State, Duke, and Wake Forest, with North Carolina, Clemson, Virginia, at Miami and Florida State all going to the Big Ten, Tom. So there's your new Big Ten. You're getting Florida State, Miami, the Tar Heels. Tar Heels may no longer, Terry, have any connection to North Carolina unless the Big Ten can pry them away. I don't see why the SEC would want Duke. Do they have any reason to want Duke?
No.
I mean, I think the NC. I think they should want State. I think the SEC should definitely want NC State.
Definitely football.
Because you got to have that state for football, and that's the one that you'd want if you can't get it. I wouldn't want. I'd take, to be honest, not being a homer, I'd take App over Wake Forest or Duke if you're the SEC. I mean, maybe the other sports. We compete in the other sports, but anyway, what do you think about that, Terry?
I think it's stupid.
Well, it's coming.
So what we're going to do
it's
is
coming.
make a big
It's
conference
coming.
and split it into 3 conferences, but you're in the same conference.
Right.
Okay.
Now,
here's make sure I had all that.
Here's where it gets tricky. I read yesterday, and I can't confirm or whatever, but this is what someone was trying to explain, is that all you need is something about the way that the playoff is worded is that you need 9 teams to qualify, and these big conferences are trying to say that they get 3 qualifiers if you have 27 teams. So they're saying every 9 teams you get a new qualifier for the playoffs. So they're trying to add teams to push out those Power 5s and those other ones that would have a chance to get in on voting so they can get more automatic qualifiers. So that's what they're fighting over, apparently, is trying to get more teams for more automatic qualifiers for these playoffs. College football fans, and Terry's just shaking his head.
What do you say, man? I mean, 30 teams in a conference.
Yeah.
And split them into 3. How you going to do the conference championship on that one?
Well, they'll do something. Here's the most Pro Bowl selections by college teams in the NFL. USC's had the most. Notre Dame, Ohio State, Miami, Purdue, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, Pitt, Georgia, Penn State. Texas is on there. That was a little fun one. Whatever you'd probably predict every one of those schools for that one. There was one. Okay, here we go. National championship. Oh, we'll do this one first. How about Big 12? Talk about ACC attendance, or joining the ACC. Looking at the Big 12, I know Zach's sitting there staring at it because he can't stop. Tom and Terry, who would you think in the Big 12 draws the most fans on average? Big 12 schools include Houston, Cincinnati, Baylor, UCF, Kansas, Arizona State, TCU, Kansas State, West Virginia, Utah, Colorado, BYU, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, Colorado. Tom, got a guess?
So that current Big 12.
Mm-hmm. This is 2023 attendance. Which schools brought the most fans per attendance? Chip, got a guess on that? Terry?
Kansas State.
Kansas State is ranked 7th in the Big 12.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State is 4th.
They've had a good program for a long time.
Tom's not going to like the answer to this when I get to it, I think. What about you, Chip? Big 12 guess? The Mormons of BYU, 61,000 a game. Iowa State, number 2. Texas Tech, number 3. Oklahoma State, 4. Colorado, 5.
Why would I not like that answer?
Well, you always talk about the Mormons in Utah, and you just make some comment about them. So that's just all I was
You
saying.
put everybody down.
I didn't say you put them down. He'll just make a Mormon comment about it.
Basically
the Fighting Mormons is what he'll say.
Called a religious bigot.
That's not what he was. That's not what he does,
Okay.
Terry.
I just want to clear the air that no, I have no prejudice against any religious
He does not.
group.
He is
if
not.
I could please clear the air.
I think it's interesting
to
to me
Mormon
that
listeners.
Houston, being the one of the largest cities in the country, is dead last in the Big 12.
That's because they don't care.
The big cities, Thomas keeps saying they don't.
care. They don't care.
All right, so here's your playoff response. Someone from the executive director, Bill Hancock. Terry, have you seen this letter? I have. And what he said about the ACC?
I ain't seen no letter from nobody who's putting ACC down.
Well, I'm going to read it to you.
This was in response to, I think, the senator.
You do have to read it to Terry.
There have been 8, counting Florida State, undefeated teams that did not make the playoffs. While this is the first year such a team was from a so-called P5 conference, strength of schedule remains a crucial factor. That's the executive director commenting on the ACC. He said this is a so-called Power 5 conference. Strength of schedule remains a crucial factor.
Does it? Does it really? I mean, don't get me wrong, and we're starting this whole crap over again. He cannot sit there this year. I don't give a darn what any conference did in the past. This year, we don't do this by what they did in the past up to this year. This year, they went 7-9
head-to-head
against the Power 5 conferences. So I think this whole crap, when they went in there, nobody sat there and said, what about this year? I don't care what you did in the past. That means nothing.
So not only are they looking at the teams subjectively, they're looking at the conferences subjectively now instead of, using their.
I mean, if we're going to do this, even though Georgia lost one game out of their last 30, they should have been in it before Alabama made it up there, even though Alabama beat them.
Correct. That's why.
That's why they're
Georgia should
there.
not
I'm with you. I agree. You should knock them out because a team won their conference.
Their strongest argument, though,
But
Terry,
you cannot take an 8th-ranked team, jump over a 4th-ranked unbeaten team in any year that you've ever done it. And this guy should be banned, fired, put in jail for 5 years because him and his
Terry,
committee was really wrong.
What is this, North Korea? You get put in jail for your opinion?
I don't care.
You watch some of the national stuff. You'll
I
say
don't care, man.
But I'll say this, that their strongest argument was, hey, Terry, we didn't put anybody in that wasn't a conference champion. That's their argument this year. Remember when they put Ohio State in, they didn't make their title game? Now, if they'd have done that, they'd have really, really had a problem. But they figured they can get away with it because all they put in were Power 5 conference champions.
You put in Power 5 conference champions, and the only way they could do this without anybody saying anything, you could not sit there and take Washington, Michigan, and Florida State because they're unbeaten, because then it would come down, oh, my God, we can't put in Texas over Alabama.
If it was Vanderbilt instead of Alabama.
Because Texas beat Alabama.
If it was Vanderbilt instead of Alabama, would Florida State be in the Final Four?
Yes.
Yes.
That's all you have to ask.
Yes.
And then
that's all you have to ask. It's a name thing.
You know what? Let me tell you what's going to happen. And this, I hope to God this happens. I hope Texas wins, and I hope Alabama wins. And I hope both of them play for a national title. And then whoever wins, I don't care. Either one of them, it's not going to make a difference.
That's the one I don't like.
But then
it's
Florida
unfair.
State,
it's unfair to Texas to have to play a team twice.
We've already beat them. Wait a minute. Then Florida State's going to beat. Florida State's going to beat Georgia, and you're going to sit here and tell me those teams should be your number one when Florida State's unbeaten.
Florida State's a 2-touchdown underdog.
I don't care what they are right now. That's just your hearsay.
What's bad is it's going to be a backups game.
That's the same thing with some of the
and all the games are besides those two playoff games, all the ball games are just nothing but backups.
Everybody from the ACC hopes that's what happens. Then what you going to say? What are you going to say to Florida State? You're not our national champion. You can't take Texas. You can't take Alabama. There's no way you can say them guys are number one.
Yeah, you can. They made the playoff, Terry.
That means nothing. That's an opinion, a poll that you just stuck them in.
I mean,
that's the sport. That's the sport. Is his opinions.
That's why I get so. We come in here every week and we do this our stuff, but yet Kevin sits over here like I'm not even contemplating, even betting on that college. Well, you know what? He's right. Mm-hmm. He's right. Of all the things in the world that we do in this show, he is absolutely right because you're getting ready to have a champion that's not unbeaten. Because if Michigan and Washington both lose and Florida State wins, then there's no way you can tell me Florida State's not number one.
You want to know how strong Alabama's brand is? We're sitting there with one of our employees and says Michigan, Alabama. Yeah. Does Michigan even have a chance? Michigan's favored in the game. Okay? But that's the problem with people out there. Michigan is favored to win the game, but yet we have people, Does Michigan have a chance? I mean, it's just so stupid. Did you watch the Auburn game? That's what I want to say. Did you watch the Auburn game where they should have got beat?
They should have got beat.
They should have got beat by a team who just got beat at home by New Mexico State.
And Tom, I do want to give you credit on something is that nobody even brings up the fact that Michigan cheated this year.
I'll bring up being Michigan cheating every single week.
But I'm saying it's just not even brought up in the conversation of who's to the playoffs teams. Like
who's
if you're
worthy?
Florida State, you're like, well, we didn't cheat to be 13-0. We haven't lost. There's two other teams with losses.
We won with a second string. We won with a third string quarterback.
The only one
we're Power 5.
We're a Power 5 conference. We're a so-called Power 5 conference.
Yeah,
because if
should be fired for that comment.
If he calls them a so-called Power conference, jail. If it's so-called Power, I mean, honestly, the point of that I've been making the whole time, all the time about college, is that if they're going to screw Florida State, Carolina doesn't have a chance. The NC States of the world don't have a chance.
No, we don't have a chance.
And for them to sit there, and then it makes me as an Appalachian State fan to walk in Carolina's house, whip them, and then still the national media and everybody, we're still going to rank them above you, or they're still a better school, or they're better than this. And we're like, we just beat them in their house against their legendary coach. But it's all about the opinions. Well, we're still better than you. No, you're not. We beat you. But that's the thing that I've had a problem with is that it's that right there is that the NC States and Carolinas don't even have a chance in this. Like right now, going next year, the Appalachian State Mountaineers have a better chance of making the playoffs than NC State and North Carolina do because they got to get in by name recognition. We just got to win our conference.
I'm going to ask y'all a question. If Alabama's brand is so good and they're so wonderful,
y'all got to win the conference too. You can do that. But if y'all come in second or less, you got to get voted in.
Yeah.
NC State can go 11-1 and lose to Florida State in the conference championship game, and they're not getting in the playoffs. And Appalachian or Tulane or one of these other ones are going to get in for winning the Sun Belt.
If Alabama's brand is so good and Nick such a good coach, why did they hire a former Michigan defensive linebacks coach to put on their team this week?
Is that the one that got fired for cheating?
No, this is not. He left the program last year at the beginning of this year. Why, if you're so good at Alabama, would you go hire a Michigan coach at this time of year?
All I want to know is
any information.
How is a guy who was suspended twice this year a victim?
You talking about Harbaugh?
Harbaugh. I mean, the guy is and he's over there praising Jesus. Get out of here, man. I mean, get out of here, man.
FSU has.
We could absolutely sit here, and that's just like not even throwing Washington in there. But how many close games did Washington win?
A bunch.
A lot.
A lot.
Florida State.
You know?
And you know what? They're a dark horse, Terry, because Penix is going to keep them in whatever game they're in.
I agree.
So Florida State has 2 passing touchdowns in the 3 games since losing their quarterback. Okay?
Okay.
In the 5 games since losing Connor Stallions, the spy for Michigan, they only have 1 touchdown passing. So Connor Stallions, the spy for Michigan, was more valuable than the quarterback for Florida State. And if the quarterback was so valuable that they would have been in the playoffs if he was playing, why was he not on the Heisman finalist?
I don't know. It just bothers me because I think of the other 90-some players on that team that did everything they could this year to remain unbeaten, and you're going to take one guy off of that team and tell them that you're not one of the top 4 in the country. That bothers me so much because they won a lot of games off of defense, and their defense is pretty darn good. And Georgia's going to find that out is what's getting ready to happen. And I think Florida State's 13, 14-point underdogs.
Do we got games this
in
week
that
to pick?
game? Yes.
Okay. All right.
But anyway.
Got a couple news and notes.
I'm not watching any of them.
We're
games.
talking about bowl games and players playing. Reports are that Minnesota had to pay their quarterback $30,000 to play, but they were down to 1 quarterback
because of transfer portal.
And so they had to pay him. He wasn't going to play either, and they had to pay him $30,000 to play in the bowl game. Think about that, but think about it. We used to argue whether they should get anything, and now they'll drop $30,000 for one game to play quarterback for you. And that kid, that may be the most he ever gets paid at one time in his life.
I just,
congratulations to that kid.
The thing with me is I believe in choice and freedom. Like when you go play for a coach in Nick Saban, and I know that everybody talks about him. I'm sure he's ruined way more lives than he's changed. But you could just tell. I mean, that he's a criminal. But anyway, but I wouldn't want my son being stuck there playing for him. But at the same time, now we have this mentality of, oh, I'm not happy, I'm leaving. I mean, it's just like, I mean, how are you supposed to stick through something? And I'll get.
Don't forget, there's broken promises too, Tom.
But I've acknowledged that. And that's the problem.
Because the coaches start it too, right? Because they're like,
and I'm saying it's on both ends because I think it was skewed one way. It's kind of like labor union management. You know what I mean? The workers get raw. Then it goes the other way. Now we want $90,000 a year to sit and do nothing.
Do we see?
So I mean, it's just one.
it was just never fair that the coaches would be like, come play for me, be loyal to my school, be loyal to our school.
Right.
Oh, the school down the street's giving me an extra couple $100,000. See you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, you got to stay here, but I'm taking up a couple extra grand. Y'all have fun.
Do we see any stipulations put on this transfer portal where they make them sit out coming up?
They just ruled on that. They're not.
They're not.
So let's see.
I know North Carolina State did get a guy from Coastal Carolina. McCall's coming over to quarterback State next year.
Okay.
So he's leaving Coastal to come to State. So, I mean, so you can go hunt a good one. All you got to do is search and you'll find one.
There's 2 recruiting seasons now.
You
know what I mean? Now you got to recruit the portal.
Well, we talked about this when it first when they first approved it. Is that if you're one of the top tier teams, you don't recruit freshmen anymore. Why would you?
Right. You just go pick off the best talent that somebody else has recruited.
Especially in basketball.
Yeah.
Like, I think the teams that are going to have these big guys that are 20, 21, 22, 23 years old are going to be teams that dominate college basketball the next few years when you can go see, like, oh, look at him at Marquette. He's developed, but he's not getting the playing time. He could help our team. And I think basketball could change a lot in that, but same thing.
State's like that right now, guys. So if you watch State play, and I'm not telling you stay up, Tom, watch State play at night time. I don't want you to watch State. Don't ever watch State this whole year.
I won't. Don't worry about it.
But anyway, but when you watch State, this guy's from Arizona State, this guy's from BYU, this guy, I mean, that's how it is. That's what's on their squad. It's a bunch of different schools that these guys have come in. The only ones that's there is Burns and Marisol. But that's it. The rest of the guys are new.
All right, y'all pick some games? Yes or no? It didn't answer me.
Well,
yeah.
I guess not.
Well, yeah.
All right. Oop, I made that too big. I'm going to make that small.
Is the NFL playing today?
Yes, 3 games.
Oh, really? They are?
Yes. There's 3 games on today.
That's awesome.
Y'all just contact me. I'll let you know.
I mean, he just sucks at everything. Tom, I sat down Thursday night, and Terry starts talking about the childish text he sends me, and I just looked over at his wife, and I said, is he ever going to grow up? She said, no.
Nope. Exactly what
so I said, as long as we all know what we're dealing with.
I know Terry's wife probably made him sit in the corner and probably said, do not embarrass me.
That's why he was sitting back there.
And then he opens up an Ohio State gift.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, boy, is that not something.
And Duke.
And a Duke. You got a Duke sweater in Ohio State game. Go Wolfpack. All right, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Georgia Southern favored by 2.5.
That's today?
Over Ohio.
That's what it says. Look.
11 a.m.
Look at the screen, Tom.
Saturday, December.
That's why I said that's today.
16th.
That's why I said that today. I didn't say is it tomorrow.
Oh, God, Tom. Christmas time. Get with it.
Did you say that with a period or a question mark? Sounded like a question mark. That's what Terry was, I think.
Terry wouldn't be able to differentiate between the two. You tell us that Terry's going to use context clues? Come on now. You know, he slept during that lesson during English class in Lincoln in high school in 1956.
I'll pass.
All right, Zach, we'll start with you. Georgia Southern Ohio in Myrtle Beach Bowl at the Conway Stadium. You know, if you're in the Myrtle Beach Bowl, you're like, can we play in like April or somewhere?
Right.
Not. I get to go to the beach and it's it's cold in there. Zach, who you got?
We'll take Vegas line on that one. We'll go with Georgia Southern.
Terry.
Oh, mine's simple. Ohio wins.
Bobcats for Terry Reinhardt. Tommy's.
Every year you go to Myrtle Beach, where are most of the people from?
Ohio. This is a
Ohio
home
wins.
game. This is a home game for the Bobcats.
It's a home game for the Bobcats.
If they're all going to be all the way at the beach, they ain't going to be up there at the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
I say that Duke is the official. They belong in New Jersey. Myrtle Beach should have Ohio address.
Correct.
Boone. If there's ever a wreck in Watauga County, there's a 90% chance it's got Florida tags. I'll say that. If you've ever been to Boone. Howard at Florida in the cricket.
Did you pick, Tom?
I said Ohio, Terry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you paying attention?
Well, I'm paying attention to writing your name down.
All right. Howard against Florida, a 6-5 Howard at Florida against Florida A&M in the cricket celebration bowl.
There'll be crickets heard at that stadium.
Well, yeah, because they're at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They're going to fill it up with Howard and Florida A&M.
Well,
crickets.
And Howard will be asleep because Florida A&M going to blow them out.
Is this the HBC Bowl?
It might be,
HBCU Bowl.
The one coach has coached both programs.
FAMU is favored by 6.5. Zach, who you got?
Give me Florida A&M.
Terry?
Florida A&M.
Tommy?
A&M.
Jacksonville State at 2:15 today will face the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana in the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl.
Isn't this one Adam Sandler bet on?
This is in the This is the Super
the Bourbon Bowl.
This is the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans where the Saints play. $33 for this one as well. Jacksonville State's favored by 2.5 for you gamblers out there. Tommy, what you got?
Give me Louisiana with a de facto home game here. Jacksonville's on the other side of Florida. Florida actually does have an eastern shore and a western shore. I still don't understand the Maryland eastern shore. Still going to research that one later tonight.
Terry?
Louisiana.
Zachary?
Louisiana.
Mountaineer fans, you're favored by 6 in Orlando over Miami of Ohio, which is going to be a lot of confusion about that this weekend. They're playing in Florida. So Miami of Ohio is going to Florida in Orlando. It's 71 degrees. So if we're going to a bowl, we want to go to the Boise State Bowl. So we'll have an advantage. We can actually play in the snow. Now we're down here in Florida. We might lose this game. I don't know, Tommy. How about you, Red Hawks? Ain't that what they are? Is that what they are?
Yeah, but I'm not going to pull for Ben Roethlisberger's university. So I'm going with Appalachian State.
Mountaineers for $12 in Orlando. For you Mountaineers fans, that's pretty good. You save on some Disney tickets. $12. Go see your team. Terry?
Appalachian State.
Zachary?
I picked against that Miami team in their conference championship, I believe it was, so I'm going to take Miami.
I wonder why I'm so loud. It's the opposite of what it should be there on that. All right, New Mexico State against Fresno State in the New Mexico Bowl at the University Stadium of New Mexico, Albuquerque. Mexico State's favored
14.
by 3.5.
They played 14 games this year.
Tommy, who you got?
Well,
10-4.
I would have to say New Mexico State, they do own a win over an SEC team.
Where
they get their extra games at?
They don't care out there. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
We just play 2 in a week.
New Mexico State should have went out of the state to play because Fresno State
Didn't take a bye and got a conference championship
Fresno
game.
State's not going to win that game.
Yeah, they will.
Give me Fresno State.
UCLA Bruins against Boise State in the Starco Brands LA Bowl.
And remember, Boise State is
And-
one of the top 5 winning programs that we
they
looked at earlier.
They sure will. They'll get blown out this week. UCLA.
In Inglewood, California. You got Boise State, Terry?
No.
Okay.
UCLA will blow them out.
Tommy?
Boise State. Yeah, that's what you said in their championship game, too, Terry. When they wasn't playing on their blue field, they ain't playing on their blue field. So they going to get beat. That's what you said.
Zach.
Correct?
Give me UCLA.
Good pick. Next.
California and Texas Tech, both 6-6, 9:15 tonight on ESPN. A lot of alcoholics and gamblers will be watching this game.
Don't even watch this one neither.
$9.
Yeah, you can get in this one for
In
free.
Louisiana. You can go see these two. This is an ACC.
Pac-10.
Who's Texas Tech going to be in next year?
Who cares?
California's ACC school now, Tom.
Yeah, I know, but they're still technically a Pac-12 team.
Where is Texas Tech going to do? Does anybody know?
I don't know, but Texas Tech scored 50.
California's
Are they going to win?
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean they're going to win. If they score 50, California might score 60.
No.
California's our Maryland West Coast Conference.
That's Maryland, California East Coast.
California Eastern
Shore. Tommy, who you got?
Give me Texas Tech. They're all California's way too hippified. They're not going to win.
I'll take Texas Tech.
On Monday, in the famous Toastery Bowl, when Western Kentucky plays Old Dominion at Jerry Richards Stadium, why is it in Charlotte? Why is it still named that? Tommy, that's your boys. That's y'all got a bowl game at UNCC?
It's a nice stadium.
How many people does it hold, though? Like 12?
Probably about 20. I mean, it's Western Kentucky and Old Dominion.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Old Dominion, isn't that a trucking company? The trucking company made the bowl?
They could have two. They have two bowl games in Charlotte: the Duke's Mayo Bowl and the Jerry Richardson Bowl. Tommy, who you got in this?
Western Kentucky. I saw them get beat 63-10 by Ohio State, but I think they'll win today or Monday. Excuse me.
They do got the better mascot.
You're taking Western Kentucky,
Terry.
Yeah,
you got ODU.
I'll take them trucks over them
trucks.
Yeah, Old Dominion.
Western Kentucky's usually in a bowl every year.
Zachary?
I'm going to go with Vegas line on that one and give me Old Dominion.
All right. On Tuesday, you get the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. UTSA, that's Texas San Antonio, against Marshall, the Thundering Herd, in Frisco, Texas at Toyota Stadium. What school is that at? Frisco, Texas. Anybody know?
Don't know.
Go ahead. Tommy, who you got?
Give me the Roadrunners.
Terry?
Marshall.
They're 12-point dogs. I'm going with Roadrunners.
Well, I typed in what college is in Frisco, Texas, and the number one response was All Good Beauty Institute. But the answer is North Texas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They'll be at North Texas at Frisco. All right, y'all ready for the next one? Or y'all done picking out?
Throw it on.
We got it. Mm-hmm.
All right. On Thursday, South Florida against Syracuse, 6-6 versus 6-6. Syracuse 3-point favorites in Boca Raton, Florida. Now that's a fun bowl to go to. In Boca Raton, nice, 72 degrees, sunny.
Yeah, it will be nice. I think.
This is pretty simple here.
Who you got then?
Well, I mean, since the ACC's so bad, you take UCF.
It's not UCF.
South
it's
Florida.
USF. Yeah. Not Central Florida. South Florida.
Don't sound it out, Terry. Read it.
It don't matter where their region is. We just name whatever. If Terry wants to call them Central, we can call them Central.
UCF's on the next one. I'll give him. I'll say look down.
Yeah.
Zach, who you got?
Give me Syracuse with our Power 5 conference.
Tommy.
South Florida with a de facto home game. They'll win this.
The Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl will be Friday for you folks that are on the edge of your seats for that one.
The Gasparilla Bowl?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
What is a Gasparilla?
UCF is favored by 4.5 over Georgia Tech. The Ramblin' Wreck, $48 in Tampa at Raymond J. Stadium. Terry, who you got?
I'm taking UCF because ACC's no good.
All right, Tommy, who you got?
UCF with another de facto home game. Not that anybody calls Florida their home. It's their
UCF's about to replace Florida State in the ACC. Terry.
Yeah.
I mean, Zach.
Give me UCF.
Nobody wanted the Ramblin' Wreck.
Yep. And that'll take us to next Saturday. We can come in and pick those games.
All right. So there's your college football picks. We'll be back in a few minutes. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Cole Custer wins, and Cole Custer will win the championship for the NASCAR Xfinity Xfinity Series 2023.
Congratulations to Cole Custer and Stuart Haas Racing on winning the 2023 NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship.
I just can't thank everybody enough, and very proud moment winning this championship with these guys. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
The Xfinity Series returns to Carolina Country WCSL in 2024. Online at kdcbroadcasting.com. Grizzly the Greeter says it's a year-end clearance sale at Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville. Take 50% off all add-on items up to $750. Mini units now 10 to 25% off. All metal buildings 10% off. In-stock greenhouses with big discounts. And now they are a certified small home builder. On-site builds immediately available. And for the first 5 customers, take 50% off building site fees. You save over 12% on your total bill. Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes, 2268 Lincoln Highway 150 East in Cherryville. Online at blessedbuildings-nc.com.
Get a steal of a deal on a new steel from Boyd's Tire and Appliance on Main Street in Clover. For over 72 years, Boyd's Tire and Appliance has been serving this area with the finest in steel chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Gas and battery-powered tools, too. Plus, John Deere has Gravely zero-turn mowers, along with appliances, tires, and yes, a great supply of John Deere toys. That's Boyd's Tire and Appliance, 110 North Main Street in Clover. Online at BoydTireandAppliance.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
Bassett Foundry Jewelry Studio in Gastonia features custom design, jewelry repair, and restoration. Bassett Foundry Jewelry Studio offers beautiful diamonds from both the earth and from science. Their knowledgeable staff, including a graduate gemologist, will help you select just the right diamond for you. You'll love what they can do for you, and your satisfaction is always guaranteed. Bassett Foundry Jewelry Studio, serving this area since 1992. Located at 530 South New Hope Road in Gastonia. Online at FacetFoundryJewelry.com. Like them on Facebook, too. Merry Christmas to all from everyone at Home Folks Cafe in downtown Cherryville. And they want to thank you for your business this past year and for the past 50 years. Yes, Home Folks Cafe has been serving the people of Cherryville and the surrounding area for 50 years. Sandra, Janet, and Thomas hopes your holiday season will be one that you'll always remember. And again, Merry Christmas to all from everyone at Home Folks Cafe, 209 East Main Street, downtown Cherryville. Like them on Facebook for daily specials, and they'll be closed for Christmas, December 25th through January 1st.
The Great Outdoors in Cherryville wishes your family bright days ahead in the new year and a Merry Christmas this holiday season. We bring you heartfelt wishes. May your Christmas be stress-free and relaxing. And remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. Merry Christmas to all. From everyone at the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right behind McDonald's.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Hour with Kevin and the gang.
All right, go ahead, JP. All right, real quick, I did have one more for you guys. This is the odds if for national championship possible matchups. Alabama would be favored against Texas or Washington. Texas by 2.5, Washington by 6.5. Excuse me. Michigan will be favored by 3 over Texas, or 7 over Washington. So there's your possible matchups. So Texas would be underdogs in either one, as would Washington, and Alabama or Michigan would be your favorites in either one. So there's your hypothetical odds from the Vegas folks. All right, let's do a little NFL time. Sunday, we're going to get y'all's opinions on this. The Tennessee Titans will be wearing Houston Oilers jerseys.
They've done it before.
At home against the Texans. Not against the Texans, Tom. Now, they ain't brave enough to do it in Houston, I guess. But here's the question. Who should own the rights to the Oilers? The Houston Texans and the city of Houston? Or the Tennessee Titans, who were the Tennessee Oilers for a few years when they moved? Tommy, what do you believe?
Well, it should have stayed in Houston because that's what they did with the Browns. All their records stayed in Cleveland. Didn't go to Baltimore. Baltimore is treated as an expansion franchise. Same thing should have happened with Tennessee.
Terry?
Tennessee.
Tennessee should keep it. Why didn't Tennessee just change their name immediately? That's what I don't get. And that's kind of what Tom's alluding to. Like, Baltimore changed their name immediately. They weren't the Baltimore Browns for like 2 years and then changed their name. Why didn't Tennessee just change their name immediately? I don't get that part. Zach, who do you believe?
They were the Tennessee Oilers?
Yeah, for a couple of years, Steve McNair they were Tennessee Oilers.
I must have forgotten.
Charlotte had to get their name back, so I'm gonna go with that because we've seen it happen before. So if they took their name, I think they have to get their name back. So I would work out a deal to get their name back if they wanted it. So I'm gonna say Tennessee owns it. That's just my opinion.
That's my opinion because the owners are the ones that moved them and they're the ones that took them. That's part of them.
But I would love to see Houston still be the Oilers right now. Honestly,
I don't think. I personally don't think if you
Baltimore.
You know, I'm with Tom on the fact that, you know, if you change cities and you leave here, why do you want my name? Change your name then. Like, you know, the Baltimore changing to the Ravens. You know, the Rams have jumped around a few times. Well, quit being the Rams and be something else. I don't know. It's tough, but like the fact that they have another team in that city.
And I agree with you.
That makes it different than like there is no team in Houston anymore.
Yeah.
And then we're going to honor them. But now that there is a team in Houston, I don't know.
I agree with you on that side because as a fan, I always felt like the Hornets being in New Orleans wasn't the Hornets. So fan side, I'm gonna say that's our name.
Like if you go
but
to New
they
Orleans
own the
right
team,
now,
so legal side it was their name.
Like how many fans that are living in Louisiana are still Hornets fans that pull in for Charlotte Hornets? Do you think there are any?
No, because we didn't pull for the New Orleans Hornets. So
I just
1997 they were the Tennessee Oilers.
Yeah.
See, you know what? I don't have any memory of really football like 96, 97, 98 because when Cleveland left, I just quit watching. I didn't keep up. Plus, I had a weekend job. So between the two, I it's like I'm not paying attention to any football. So that's why I just kind of blank from my memory. There's like 4 years there where that era, I think maybe I watched the Super Bowl. I didn't even watch any football. I was just so disgusted with it.
Then y'all got a new team, and y'all picked Tim Couch.
Tim Couch pretty good. He was pretty good.
In college.
He was pretty good.
That wasn't number one overall, though, was it? Wasn't that number 2?
Yeah,
he was number one.
He was the savior.
I thought he was number 2 overall. Or that was his jersey number?
That was his jersey number.
He still has ties to the organization. Like, they still bring him in for this or that.
to laugh at him.
No, it wasn't that bad. Look at his stats.
Here's
they have to show.
Here's who you passed on. Donovan McNabb, Adrian James, Ricky Williams, Torrey Holt, Champ Bailey, Dante Culpepper, Chris McAllister, Javon Kearse, Damian Woody.
Should have got McNair. I mean,
Tar Heels famous Ebenezer Ekimon, Antoine Winfield. That's just in the first round.
I would take McNair.
Second round, Mike Rucker, Dre Bly.
Dre Bly was still playing not too long ago.
Joey Porter. Third round, Martin Automatica.
Yeah.
Automatica.
Ain't he the one that jumped up and down and messed his knee up? Was his brother? Okay. After he hit the.
That was
Kicker's getting hurt celebrating.
That was Brent.
Don't know why
that was
so funny.
That was. That was Brent Musburger who did the Automatica thing.
Donald Driver passed on him too, and the very last pick in the draft, Jim Finn. But yeah, Culpepper and Donovan McNabb would have been pretty good going quarterback there. Then Adrian James and Ricky Williams.
Did you say McNair was in that draft?
McNair went second. McNabb went second, not McNair.
But
McNabb went second. Culpepper went 11th.
If Andy Reid was coaching Tim Couch, how good would he have been?
Now, he did good without not picking Achilles Smith or Cade McCown, who was top 10 quarterbacks. But
I would have gone with McNair. McNair was a warrior.
McNabb, you mean?
McNabb. Okay, McNair wasn't in that.
No,
draft.
McNair was not.
McNair was
McNabb. McNair was
nasty
number
too,
one
man. He's one of my favorites.
McNair might have been a couple years back, wouldn't he? He was probably a couple years back.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Terry, I'm looking at this draft. This might be one of them years Tess didn't draft.
I didn't know Damian Woody was that high of a draft pick, or that
Didn't either. So anyway, he missed on Champ Bailey. That's tough. All right, so I was just wondering, curious what you guys thought about the Oilers and the Titans matchup, and then wearing against them. And
I do like that Houston suit or their jersey.
Well, yeah, the Oilers jerseys are.
I like the helmets.
I do too.
So a couple of days ago, I don't know if it's changed, guys. We talk about prices at these games, and we'll look at what it is right now on ESPN. But a couple of days ago, you could buy Panthers tickets for 45 cents.
Just give them away, man. Just give them away. Just put them for free.
Why would you? There may be a minimum you could have to list them for. But you could buy 2 tickets in section 500, which is the upper deck, for $1, Terry.
How about that?
2 tickets.
You might as well.
Panthers Stadium.
I mean, you could have the experience of going to a professional football game.
Well, we talked. You could go to the bowl game or the Hornets game, walk over and see an NFL game or
you can't walk. Can you walk from Time Warner to Richardson? Is that close?
Couple blocks.
Yeah,
it's on the other side, but you can. I've done it
because I've been to both, but hadn't paid attention.
I was about to say, I've done it. I know you can. I would highly recommend. If you like to either take one of those buggies for a nice little ride. It would be a lot quicker if you don't want to walk, but it's walkable. And I'm not a walking person.
See, but that's the thing. I'm trying to think, like when I went, because when the Epicenter used to have something in it, now it's like empty. We used to go there and get something to eat and walk to Time Warner, but or Spectrum, excuse me. But I can't remember walking there to Jerry Richardson Stadium.
All right, here's the Bears' decision on their number 1 draft pick. If you get rid of Fields and pick a quarterback or what. Would you rather build around Fields, costing $108 million over the next 4 years, or would you rather build around a draft pick costing $44 million over the next years and have extra draft picks to build around him?
It's a no-brainer. You're going to get rid of Fields.
That's exactly right.
You're not going to pay Fields $44 million. Is that what he's promised on his current contract?
In 2027.
There's no way.
He's got $6 million this year, then 22 next year.
It's not. They didn't do
the one on the right is the rookie scale.
They didn't do like a suicide pact like Cleveland did with Watson, right? Guaranteed doesn't matter what you do. I mean, if it's not guaranteed money,
no, this is a rookie deal.
There's like things I don't understand, like dead cap and all this. I don't understand it all, but I know they could save considerable amount of cap space, and somebody will sign Fields, cheaper. He's. Right now, I think, he's probably a $20 million guy, not a $40 million guy. Here, you're a $20 million guy. Prove you're a $40 million guy. He might get one of those deals. But, no, that's a no-brainer for Chicago.
Super Joe Flacco has 311 passing yards and 3 touchdowns Sunday. He was a free agent a couple weeks ago.
First Cleveland Brown to throw 3 30-plus yard touchdown passes in a game since Brian Sipe.
I was going to pull that up. The MVP, Brian Sipe, right, Tommy?
Yeah, he was MVP in 1980 or 81. I can't remember when I was
80.
a kid. 80,
yeah. So Brian Sipe, Cleveland Browns quarterback MVP, that Joe Flacco did that first time since then. How about this? These are teams that don't have a 303-game touchdown this year from their quarterbacks. Jets, Steelers, Jaguars, Colts, Titans, Raiders, Giants, Packers, Bucks, Falcons, Saints, Panthers, Rams, and Cardinals. That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14 teams that don't have a 300-yard.
But the thing is, what the argument is not keep Joe Flacco forever. But the argument is that Watson does not fit Stefanski's system, and Flacco does. So that's why he's had success. So what I'm saying is, why aren't the GM and the coach in the office saying, if we're going to run this system, this is the kind of guy we want? So it might not be all on Deshaun Watson. It's just like, this is not where he thrives. And for whatever reason, Flacco loves this, let's go heavy every now and then, run the ball. Let's do some play action. I mean,
he's good.
He's thriving.
He's very smart. He's very smart. He's a veteran quarterback.
Well, the ball shoots out of his hand.
It does.
Yeah.
And even Amari Cooper talked about how good of a ball he throws.
Whether or not decision he made. But the point I was making on this is that teams will bend over backwards to explain to their fans and everybody, we're going with the future. This is we believe in this guy. And 14 teams in 16 or 13 games haven't had a player that's done as
and let's be fair about this.
Joe Flacco.
It's not the same NFL it was 30 years ago. So your quarterback can play into his 40s. They protect him if his body holds up.
Yeah. I mean, but you're not going to see.
Tom, it was 1980 when Brian Sipe did that.
Yeah, I know it was 80. I was.
How about this one, Tom? Games of 250 and 2 touchdowns. Joe Flacco's done it twice. The Steelers have 0 since Big Ben retired.
I mean,
they could have signed him, and
he's old school, big arm, like, guys back in the 80s. We're going to threaten there. I mean, but if you look at an NFL game today, everything's short, right? Everything's check down. You see some of the guys still, but I'm telling you what, Flacco's back there. He's going up. We're going down the field. I mean, you watch a Panthers game. Remember when every pass was a check down to McCaffrey? I mean, but you see that in the NFL a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you don't
all these
see
coordinators drawing it up.
They do. I mean, they don't do as much vertical passing. But when Joe's back there, I mean, he's looking down the field every time, man. He's looking for the big play, man.
Defensive rookie lineman Jalen Carter has more touchdowns in the past 3 weeks than Bryce Young. And the same amount of touchdowns that Quentin Johnson, rookie wide receiver Quentin Johnson, second round pick Quentin Johnson has.
Yeah, they whiffed on.
I tell you what, if the Browns Chubb did not get hurt and they had Flacco back there, they would really be dangerous. I mean, they're dangerous now, but they had Chubb back there.
I mean, how dangerous would the Browns be right now if you don't sell the farm to get Watson and you just drafted C.J. Stroud? I mean, he likes to throw the ball down the field, big arm, all the measurables. How much better off would they be right now?
What do you do now? I mean, you got Flacco is playing pretty darn good, but they're not going to give him away. I mean, they'll give him away to somebody, but they'll keep Watson.
His contract's only in March.
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole bottom line.
Did you see his contract? He gets like $500,000 if he wins a playoff game, $1 million if he wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, just look it up. It's interesting.
23 NFL teams were purchased for less than what Shohei Ohtani will be getting from the Dodgers at $700 million.
I know.
These are the cost, guys, of what it costs to buy these teams.
Those are not inflation adjusted.
You bought the Chicago Bears for $100 in 1920.
Yeah, I mean, that's
the
no
Giants were bought for $500 in 1925. The Steelers were bought for $2,500 in 1933. The same family, I believe, still owns it, Tom. For $2,500.
You would have to inflation adjust some of this, but still, it's crazy money they're giving this guy.
The most expensive, the Jets, $635 in 2000. Vikings, 2005 were for $600 million. Ravens, $600 million in 2000. Falcons, $545 in 2002. Oilers were bought for $25,000 in 1959. Cowboys with 1989. Jerry Jones bought them for $150 million in 1989. So that's the last time these teams were sold. I guess it was. So the Cardinals bought in $50,000 by the Bidwells in 1932 in Chicago.
And that's a big difference because right now they're talking about if the Cowboys were sold, it'd be in the $1 billion range.
It'd be $2 or $3 billion. The stadium will cost $1 billion, so it's going to be. That's just for the house, not for anything else. Let's see if I got any more notes. I don't think I got any more NFL notes before we do our picks. We wind down the season. Thursday night football, the Chargers and Raiders. Raiders scored 63 after scoring 0.
Chargers
on
fire
Sunday.
head coach and offensive coordinator.
They got beat 3-0 and then scored 63 4 days later. And then, like Zach just said, everyone in the Chargers was fired.
Yeah,
Clean
coach and the GM.
Coach and the GM both got.
One of the
DC get fired? Surely he did too. No,
he's the one that cut it. The guy that gave up 63 kept his job. But I think the coach was calling defensive plays. I think they actually
because he's the coach. He's like a Belichick type,
right? Because he said if you're going to ask already, I'm the one that was calling plays. So he did say that. All right, so playoff standings. We'll start in the NFC. For you folks,
look at Minnesota.
That's what I was thinking. Look at those Vikings sitting there, man. I mean, of all the adversity they had this year,
and the Packers. The Jordan Love led Packers. Of course, I'm glad he's doing well because Aaron Rodgers is a prick and he tried to submarine the franchise, and I'm just glad to see Jordan Love doing well. I just hate to say, he is. He's a jerk. Now I'm not going to take anything away from his greatness, but he's a jerk.
In the NFC, there are 6 teams tied for the 7th seed. 2 more teams, one game out.
But Green Bay owns all the tiebreakers, right?
And the Panthers have been eliminated.
And we don't have a first-round draft pick.
And you don't
yes.
And the
one-win team.
And the Tommy DeVito-led New York Giants are not out of this. There's of course, I still like to watch Chris Berman.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What he tells
Why would it not be right? Well,
Well,
what are you asking?
Do you hear
Well, the reason I'm asking because Philadelphia still has the overall if they went out there in.
Right. Currently, Dallas has got it, but that means if Philadelphia wins after in.
Yeah.
Did you hear him say
Right, Terry.
about Tommy
But
DeVito?
currently, Dallas has got it.
Keep your mouth shut and throw touchdowns.
Did you see the guy that is his family member? He
Yeah,
looked like
yeah.
He looked like a.
You keep your mouth shut and you throw touchdowns. It's hilarious, man. But I'm glad to see him doing well, undrafted. Tommy
How
DeVito,
bad is that
undrafted.
for you talk about Watson sitting there? How bad is that for the Giants sitting there with Daniel Jones?
How much money have they invested in time in other quarterbacks and besides Jones?
Here you got an undrafted guy who's
right.
Oh, yeah. Guys, we can sit back and we can talk about the NFL all we want to, but there's 10 quarterbacks and then the rest of them are just trash.
You stole that from Kevin.
Well, I mean, what?
You've never made that point before. Kevin has made that point every week,
Well-
and now you just stole his point.
Well, I mean, when you look at it, that's what it is.
All right,
Yeah.
so all right, real quick, we go to the AFC. We've got Baltimore in the 1 seed right now, Miami 2, Kansas City 3, Jacksonville 4, Cleveland 5, Pittsburgh 6, Indianapolis 7. Now, Tom, let's go through these teams. We've got Kansas City, right? In San Francisco, Dallas, Detroit.
That's the NFC.
I know, real quick. Of the 14 playoff teams, only 2 teams have a Super Bowl winning quarterback. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Browns. I just want you to keep that in mind when we get to the playoffs. Of the 14 playoff teams, and that's just weird to say in general that only 2 guys of 4 playoff teams have ever won a Super Bowl.
Cleveland's got too many injuries.
Well, they do, but that is just they
got a historic
But
defense
nobody
this year,
else
though.
in the league has an experienced Super Bowl winning
They're-
quarterback that's going to be in the playoffs
they're-
unless the Rams can sneak in.
Their defense hasn't been as good lately, Zach. Not nearly.
You got
as
Russell
good.
Wilson
They're
as the
not
9
been as
seed.
good.
He could sneak in, and you've got Matthew Stafford as the 8 right now, 1 game out. He could sneak in, but other than that, we don't. Since Brady retired and dominated, we don't have any more quarterbacks that's actually won the Super Bowl. Lamar's been in 1. The Eagles have been in 1. San Francisco's been there. Did
Purdy
play in
didn't
it?
get to play.
He didn't get to play in it. So, like, there's not much playoff experience. You got Kirk Cousins, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff. He got the Super Bowl.
Baker Mayfield's going to get in the playoffs.
So you got 3 that's lost, only 2 that's won, though.
I'm happy for Baker.
All right, let's look at our playoff predictions real quick. I think I got it up working chop.
You had it earlier.
Well, it's a matter of whether this will read it or not. That's the question. Read it. And, of course, it's not reading it. Dang it. All right, we'll pull that up in a minute. Let's pick some games. Why would that not be reading that? That is weird. Let's try this one. See if it'll read it. NFL picks. Well, I guess it don't want to read it today. Anyway, looking at our picks, I can just
Does Tommy remember who his Super Bowl pick was?
I don't know. I'm about
'Cause it could come to pass.
Do you know
It
the
could come to
emblem
pass.
for the Super Bowl has changed?
Oh wow!
It's not the trophy anymore.
No, it's the little graphic that they put up about Super Bowl, the one coming up. It was one color at the start of the year, and now it's changed, and a lot of people identify that with who's going to be in the Super Bowl.
Oh.
So so who's going to be in it?
It's got Dallas and Kansas City now.
Oh, okay.
Kansas City ain't going to make the Super Bowl. Little crying old little Patrick Mahomes. He's going to penalty on my guy.
Yeah, I got so mad at that last week. It was unreal.
And he kept on.
He kept on. He was a little like LeBron. He kept on. And I'm like, everybody in America saw the guy was offside.
By a yard.
You know?
By a yard.
So quit the crying. And then Andy Reid and them gets on her, they shouldn't make that call. What do you mean they shouldn't make that call? That's why he's out there. Make the call.
I mean, here's an idea. Line up on side. You're a professional football player. You played Pop Warner, middle school, high school,
and
college,
you knew what you were doing.
And you're going to tell me about you're a professional football player. You don't know to line up on side?
I got mad at that, man.
I mean,
Then he
it's
acted like a little kid.
I was like, he acted like, I mean, it was horrible. And all the kids at home watching his little.
Oh, you can't make that call. What do you mean you can't make that call? That's why he's out there.
I mean, he was clearly offside.
Yeah, way offside.
Well, the fact of the matter is, and also they let the tackles be like a yard and a half off.
Yeah.
He was way so far ahead of the tackle that
And was it a good play? Yeah, for Kansas City, it drew up good. It looked great on how y'all had it drawn up, but
you were offside.
You were offside.
It's like stepping out of bounds and, and hitting a three when you or something like that. You were out of bounds. You hit three, good job. You're out of bounds.
It's a rule. It's a rule.
I just got so mad when I saw that.
All right, I think I've got it. Let's see. Yep, here we go. So here was our playoff picks. I'm going to go over those real quick before we do our picks. I know we're going to be a little behind today for you folks home, but real quick, we've got Terry had the Cowboys over the Bills in the Super Bowl, Rams, 49ers, Giants, Saints, Eagles, and Lions in the NFC. AFC, Baltimore, Kansas City, Colts, Steelers, Jets, and Broncos, Terry. Tommy had Browns over the Eagles in the Super Bowl with Super Bowl experience quarterbacks for both teams there. So you've got the most Super Bowl experience in your Super Bowls, Tom. So you got Joe Flacco versus Jalen Hurts. You also got the Bears in the playoffs. Don't think that one's going to happen. 49ers in. The second one you've got, guys, so if for the folks at home watching, Terry's got Dallas over Detroit in the NFC Championship and Buffalo over Baltimore. Everybody's got Buffalo in the AFC Championship game, guys. We're struggling with that one. All four of us had them, I think.
Yeah, they're not playing that well. Of course, big win over Kansas.
Actually, I'm sorry. I want to take that back. Zach, on me and yours, we did that wrong. You had the Jets. I didn't switch that one. And I had the Titans in the AFC Championship game. So that's not going to happen either.
No.
Both of us missed those pretty bad. But me and Zach did have San Francisco and Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I've got Kansas City winning, and Zach's got San Francisco winning. Zach in the NFC Championship game we both had Philadelphia getting beat by San Francisco. So me, Tom, and Zach, I'll have Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game. Tom, you do have the Rams in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, I know. That's probably not going to happen.
All right, let's pick some games. Let's see if my internet back up. Here we go. I got to skip back over
today's.
Yep. All of them, Tommy. Vikings and Bengals. That's not us. Here we go. Bengals favored by 3 at home over Minnesota. Minnesota going with a new quarterback, Josh Dobbs, getting benched.
Third string.
Move to third string.
Get Justin Jefferson hurt.
These coaches really have no idea.
Third string.
They have no idea about quarterbacks. I stand on that. They have no idea. Football coaches know how to do everything else, but they don't know anything about
You
quarterbacks.
draft one you ain't even seen before. Anyway.
No idea. Zach, who you got in this one?
Give me the Bengals.
Terry?
Bengals.
I'll go Bengals at home. I hate going 4 away, but I don't even know who the quarterback for the Vikings is. I don't even know the guy.
I seen his name. I didn't know him.
Steelers.
No, he's third string.
He got benched. Yeah.
He got Justin Jefferson hurt last week, so they put him on third string.
Steelers at Colts, 4:30 day NFL Network. Colts favored by a game and a half. Minshew Mania against Tar Heel Trubisky. Zach, who you got?
I picked Minshew a lot, and he's not done well. So give me the Steelers.
Indianapolis, please end their playoff hopes. Give me Uncle Rico. Give me the Colts. Come on, Uncle Rico.
Minshew's, they're going to kill the Steelers. Go Colts on this one. I might take
Minshew's playing dodgeball today.
Don't care what he's playing. He's 7-6. He's doing good. The Broncos in Detroit tonight. 5.5 point favorite. 5 point favorites are the Lions. That seems kind of big to me against the Broncos right now, but we'll see. Tommy, what you got?
I like the Broncos in that game. Russell Wilson's been playing. I know they had a setback. They lost the game, but, that's the NFL. Oh, you lost a game. You're terrible.
Terry?
Lions.
Zachary?
I think Broncos finally getting Peyton's scheme in. Give me the Broncos to win against the Lions.
Oh, I got Broncos on this one. I think they're going to make the playoffs.
Playing in Detroit.
Good God Almighty, let me get scared.
Go
Playing
from
in
outside
Tigers
to
and Bears
inside.
on by.
Detroit.
You go from outside to inside.
If Barry Sanders ain't gonna scare him, Jared Goff ain't gonna scare me. Bears at Browns. Hadn't played in a while, apparently, each other. Brownies favored by 3. Flacco and Fields, $30, 42 degrees. Zachary?
Give me Flacco.
It hasn't been too long since they played them. Maybe a year or two.
Terry?
I like Flacco and the Browns here.
Tommy?
Browns because they have to, but this is the type of game they lose, Kevin, but going with the Browns.
Joe Flacco stomps the Bears into the ground. Destroyed. Baker Mayfield looking to win a conference, a division. 6-7. Tampa Bay at 6-7. Green Bay. Jordan Love and the Packers favored by 3.5 in Lambeau. Tommy?
It's a December game in Green Bay and with a Florida team. Let's go with Green Bay. They should win.
I'm also taking Green Bay.
I've got Green Bay also.
Can't trust Baker Mayfield as far as you can throw him. I'll go Packers.
4 across the board.
On
Buccaneers are winning this game.
Yeah, Bucks by 40 after we just did that. Texans, we do have the most jinx. People need to watch that. The NFL gamblers need to watch this show for the jinxes. Texans at Titans. We just talked about this. The Oilers. Texans at the Oilers today.
How was Tennessee a 3.5 point favorite? Is Stroud hurt?
Yes.
Okay. So I thought
Davis Mills is starting.
Oh.
You can't trust a guy with a soccer name. Tennessee wins. Davis Mills. That's tennis or soccer, man, or lacrosse.
Golf.
Football player.
Zach, who you got?
Give me the Titans.
Terry?
Yeah, since the other team's wearing their colors from a long time ago, Texans win.
There ain't no way Texas is going to win it in Tennessee today, I don't think. If it was in Texas and they were wearing those jerseys, I'd pick the Texans
and
in a
Ed Stroud.
Guys,
I'd
you can't pick throwback uniforms for a road game. You wear those at home.
Yeah, but that would just rub them in their face, though. That's just the one. I would pick them in that, and that'd piss them off. Yeah. All right, Jets at Dolphins for $100. You can see Miami, who's favored by 8.5 against the Jets. Jets. Right? Did you see the report on Aaron Rodgers in practice?
No, what?
He's on the practice squad, right?
He's cleared to play.
He was on practice team defense on Thursday and picked off Zach Wilson. Aaron Rodgers on practice team defense Thursday picked off Zach Wilson. Terry, who you got in this game?
Dolphins.
Zach.
I'm picking the Dolphins, but I think they're pretenders right now.
Well, they did lose last week, but they're at home, so I'll pick the Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins for me across the board. That's 3 games, guys. We did that so far.
Did Aaron Rodgers?
About to be 4. Chiefs at Patriots.
I wonder if Aaron Rodgers' mom got mad at him.
Any of y'all picking the Patriots?
Chiefs.
We do this on the Chiefs a lot, and then we lose. But anybody picking the Patriots?
No.
Chiefs have problems.
Chiefs
but
across the
Patriots
board.
are horrible.
I'm 100% sure the Patriots are tanking for Drake May. Giants at Saints. Saints favored by 5.5. Couldn't tell you who's quarterbacking.
Can for the Giants.
DeVito.
Yes.
Keep your mouth shut. Throw touchdown.
Tommy, what you got?
Even though I like DeVito and the whole Jersey Shore thing they got going on, I think at New Orleans, this is probably, Tommy might be going home in a box. Let's go with the Saints.
Terry.
Giants.
Zachary?
Give me the Saints. They're trying to win the division.
I was about to say, somebody's got to make a push in that division.
Yeah.
Tampa's going to get beat. Falcons got the Panthers. Saints got to keep up. We're going to go Saints at home. DeVito magic doesn't work in the Bayou. Game in hell this week. Falcons at Panthers. For 45 cents, you can buy a ticket.
Right.
Or for free, you can sit at home and burn. Falcons favored by 3. $14 now, Tommy, on it. You can get those on the StubHub stuff. So prices have skyrocketed. 100% times 14. What, 14,000% since Thursday? Tickets have skyrocketed up to $14.
I think I will go ahead and, but of course, it's anybody's game. If it's going to play in a nor'easter, it's anybody's game. But let's go with the Panthers to throw in a little mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
Terry?
Falcons.
Zach?
Give me the Nor'easter Panthers.
I learned my lesson picking the Panthers last
You
week.
did. I'm picking the Nor'easter Panthers.
I got the Falcons in this one.
My God. Come on. Your team's won one freaking game.
Team's awful.
They bad all the way around.
They worse than the Winky team.
They are awful. They're worse than the Hornets. Terry, they're worse than the Charlotte
I'm
Hornets.
telling you, man.
The Commanders. 6.5-point dogs in L.A. at the Rams. Ron Rivera's last year ever coaching as a head coach.
Rams.
Yeah, Rams.
Yep, give me the Rams.
Stay in the playoff. Huh?
Rivera's had 3 winning seasons in his career, guys. He's coached 12 years. He's got 3 winning seasons. Rams
he just stands there.
He don't do anything. Rams for that. Speaking of that, I saw a highlight of somebody scored on him the other day. 49ers at Cardinals.
This is crazy.
Anybody got the Cardinals?
Yeah, scary.
No.
Dallas lost out there.
Terry, you gonna pick them?
No.
Dallas lost where? Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did.
Both these teams waxed the Cowboys.
How do y'all go out there and get beat by them?
49ers, I think, for everybody on that one, Terry.
This next game is going to be interesting.
Rematch from 1993. Cowboys, Bills, in Buffalo, Orchard Park. Buffalo needs wins to stay afloat in the AFC playoffs. Zachary?
I'm going to pick the Bills to win this game on an upset. But it ain't upset. They're actually favored.
Bills favored. Check the line.
Yeah, check the line.
Tommy?
I think Dallas is playing well. As much as I hate to admit it, I don't think Buffalo can beat them.
You're probably right, Tom. Every time Dallas plays Buffalo, we blow them out, so Cowboys
That was
win.
40 years ago.
It's not changed.
It's not changed.
I'm going
to say this, Terry.
I was 12.
If you want to prove to me that you got a chance to make an NFC championship game, you got to win this game. You got to beat somebody on the road, either San Francisco or Philadelphia.
Honestly, this is a must-win for both. It's a must-win for the Cowboys to stay in the position they're in as the top of the and the Buffalo is their playoff chance. I mean,
this is what happens here, guys. I mean, I'm like Michael Irvin. Cowboys win and Eagles lose.
I'll be bringing my
That's what's gonna happen.
I'll bring my Stephen A. Smith cowboy hat and cigar next week and laugh at the Cowboys.
I'm going to take the Bills at home. I think they need it more. They're at home. We'll go with the Bills on this one. It's going to be 36 degrees, maybe snow. I don't know. Ravens at Jaguars. Tommy. Sunday night football. Ravens favored by 3.5.
Is Braveheart back?
Yeah, he played the whole game. I mean, he's a gamer. The Ravens are just going downhill right now, but they got to slip up. Somebody's got to
They're the number one seed.
Downhill, I mean gaining speed, gaining momentum. I'm not saying going downhill. So maybe it's a bad analogy. I mean, they're rolling.
Gotcha.
That's what I mean.
I still don't understand what you're saying.
Terry, don't even come near me with that.
All right.
But I'm going to go with the Jaguars.
Terry?
What the crap? Ravens. There's no way I can take Jaguars after Tom's talking.
You know what? When Tom does do a long opening, he's wrong. So I'm going to go with the Ravens. He jinxed. He done jinxed
Tom's
it.
got a jinx.
That's the only reason I'm picking against
this
that.
This ain't got nothing to do with jinx.
I would have picked the Jaguars if you wouldn't talk so long.
I ain't picking Sunshine to beat the Ravens defense.
They
Get
are
that
at home,
outta here.
though.
Who cares? It's the Ravens.
Oh, good.
God, y'all nuts. Go Ravens. Eagles at Seahawks.
There
Terry?
you go. Seahawks.
I was waiting. I'm going to see if you do
I'm
it.
going to Seahawks, too. That's at Seattle. They need a win. Eagles going to trip up.
Tommy, how bad are the Eagles back to beat Seattle?
Pretty bad. They're pissed.
I'm going to tell you what, man. You saw how Dallas handled them outside guys. You got Lockett and Metcalf. They're going to eat them alive on the outside. And Geno Smith is back. Just throw it up there. They'll go
no,
get
you
it.
didn't say that out loud.
Yeah, Geno
Smith is
He
back.
is. He's always got to have somebody just to throw it out there. Lock it, Metcalf, go get it.
I got the Eagles too on that as we finish
Tom,
up
who'd
the
you
show.
take? Eagles. Oh my goodness.
As we finish up the show, I want to thank everybody for listening and watching to the show today. We're gonna end it on a cool video here in a second for the people watching at home. People radio, we got to get off the radio as soon as possible. But this may be, Terry, the best race that we've ever seen of all time. So, by the way, real quick, Mike Trout and Andy Pettit had the same number of postseason RBIs at 1. Real quick, these are my baseball notes.
Ohtani's getting paid more than the Guardians, Marlins, Royals, Brewers, Reds payrolls until this week when Kansas City just spent more than everybody in baseball, Terry. This past week, you guys have spent more than any – the second most money compared to last year's payroll than anybody in baseball. I was going to bring that up. All right, we'll talk about that more next week. I'll have those notes we run out of time. I'm going to leave you guys. Like I said, you want to see one of the greatest races in history. I'm going to leave it right here for the folks at home. Let's see if I can pull it up. Here we go. We'll do the vertical in this way. All right, so for the folks on the radio, I know you can't see it, so we're going to get to music for you. This is a treadmill race, a toy treadmill race. So there's a bunch of toys on it, a bunch of different cars. There's the DeLorean. There's speed racers out there, a delivery truck. There's a couple rolls of tape. It looks like some type of like a softball, a can of Coke. So they put all this stuff on the treadmill, turn the treadmill on, and see who wins the race. And this might be the greatest race I've ever seen in my life. Zach, get ready.
Lane Tape, Skyline, Jackson Storm, Speed Racer, Hamilton, Baseball, Coke Zero, and the DeLorean. Flame Tape gets pushed out by Caution Tape. Caution Tape goes to Coca-Cola next, fighting up plenty of racers. Speed Racer's still alive. Skyline's still alive. It's the top 3 here. Skyline comes in backwards, flexing on the other racers. Caution Tape fighting with Speed Racer. Can he get them both out? And he takes out the Skyline. 1v1.
Speed Racer's over in the corner trying to hold on. And this tape is relentless. Boom!
Caution Tape pushes him ahead.
Speed Racer
Speed Racer is not giving up. Caution Tape turning almost completely sideways and staying alive. Breaks the lights again.
Speed Racer keeps fighting. Takes off.
Oh, he's at the very end. It's not enough. Can he work his way back to the front with the full
He goes back to the front. No, he hits him back rear fender, and he's out, and the tape wins. We'll see you next time. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Don't forget.